This episode is brought to you by Naked Fig Soap. Shop over a dozen handcrafted artisan soaps locally sourced and made in Arizona using the finest non-toxic intentional ingredients. Naked Fig Soap also offers facial care products along with accessories like soap dishes, soap saver bags, and more.
Visit their website at nakedfigsoap.com and use code DRUMMINGUP, all one word, for 20% off online orders. And that is the best place to find her now.
Yes.
She doesn't really have a storefront so much as she has
As of right now.
Yeah, as of right now,
Yes.
she has her products in certain locations,
Yes.
which again is the best place to find her is at her nakedfigsoap.com website.
Yes.
Or her socials. Instagram is a great spot to find her. Ask her any questions where she's going to be at like a farmer's market.
Yes.
You can find all that out. Or
But coming up, she's
Yeah.
moving to bigger and better opportunities.
Yes, absolutely. And we're very happy to hear that because,
Yes.
you know, we just want to make
She's one
sure
of our
she's doing okay.
favorite companies.
Oh, yeah. Whenever we're getting low, we always place our order.
Yes.
You know, and again, use that code drumming up,
Yes.
all one word, to get that 20% off discount.
For sure.
nakedfigsoap.com. It'll be in the show notes. We'll have her website. And then the best thing to do is from the website, go find her socials, follow her. That helps her. And by you doing that, it helps us because we know you're listening and we know you're buying her great products. She also offers tattoo care and everything too.
Yes,
so
she does.
Just a ton of stuff that she does. It's all locally made and everything. So what was that website again?
That is nakedfigsoap.com.
Using code drumming
Drumming
up,
Up.
all one word, for 20% off at checkout.
Hi there, this is Julian of Gorad, and you are listening to Drumming Up Conversation. Hell yeah.
Drumming up conversation. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Conversation. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Conversation. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Conversation. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Conversation. Yeah.
Hey, this is Jeff Bowders, and you are watching the Drumming Up Conversation podcast.
Hello and welcome to Drumming Up Conversation. I'm Justin Wood.
I'm Andrea Wood. Intro and outro music is provided by Arizona prog metal band Temporal Displacement. You can find their music anywhere you listen to your favorite music. There's a new remastered album out. Sounds really good. Check it out. And that's the Spartacus War. You can email us at drummingupconversation@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Drumming Up Conversation, and on X at Drum Conversing. You can listen to our audio version on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can watch our video version on YouTube. Don't forget to do all the good things like subscribe, rate, review, follow, and tell a friend.
Tell a friend, correct.
Tell
Yeah.
two.
So today we are having a repeat guest on. We're going to talk about a movie that we all watched and discussed. It's more of a movie that probably you and I are into than our guest. But
Really?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Not to say that anything like he's not going to enjoy it. I think it's a good movie. It's kind of based on true story. So sorry, I'm still waking up.
The best part of waking up.
No, it's not. Folgers in your cup is not the best part of waking up.
Well, we're not drinking Folgers.
Oh, I know. But
Luckily. I almost put a little bit of caramello whiskey in my coffee. Almost. I thought about it. I seriously thought about it.
yeah.
But I did not.
So yesterday we spent a lot more time working on our new addition to the podcast room than we thought we would be doing.
Yep.
We spent about 4 hours working on that stupid thing.
Yep.
Our parents have this, which we've done podcasts from before. Their table, whenever we're at their house, it's the table we have now we're using. But it was easy to take apart. And then when we got to the house, we're like, where did this come from? Where did that come from? Nothing would line up.
And there wasn't a lot of parts to it.
No.
it was just remembering where they came from, and then four screws I think we took out that didn't need to come out.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, because we want to take the tabletop off because it is a very, very heavy table.
they
So
get quality stuff when they get stuff. So,
yeah, but they also probably had someone put it together too.
oh,
So
I'm sure it was probably delivered and yeah, put together.
but we got it. We had to flip it over and do it upside down.
Argued a lot.
Argued a lot. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
A lot of fun. So, and then Grenache has an allergy of some sort right now.
yeah,
Her face
she's
is like twice the
swollen.
size.
She has little bumps all over. We had a horrible wind come through, and I think that because that's the only different thing that happened
Hmm.
because her diet's been the same, everything's been the same. So
So she pops up and looks different. That's why.
she looks really Shar-Pei Mastiff
Yeah.
today.
More yesterday than today. Her
Yeah,
face has gone down a little bit.
yeah.
Giving
So
her
she's
some
on some
Benadryl.
Benadryl.
Yeah.
If
Poor
he gets
thing.
more, yeah.
So yeah, we had to go through that yesterday. So yeah, it must have happened Friday night before she came in. Something hit her allergies, and then when we woke up, she had it.
Yeah.
So not fun, not
No,
fun at all. So, but it is what it is. And then had to work all week.
we did.
Nothing went on this week though, which is weird. Usually we have some sort of midweek thing that we have to go to.
Yeah.
We didn't have
We
anything like that.
visited your grandma in the memory care facility. That was rough for me anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know if it bothered you or not.
I don't know how to act in those situations, and I
Yeah.
didn't like that the caregivers were just nowhere to be found at certain points
Yeah.
because, I'm not, if something happens to her, I don't want to do something, and then they're like, you need to let one of us know. I'm like,
Or
well,
you can't touch
yeah, it's
her.
like, well,
Yeah.
if one of you was around, would have.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was interesting. So they said she's doing better than the day before. So and
Yeah.
that was on Thursday when everything was going on. So
Yeah, her lung capacity was at 79%. What did the kids say hers was at when she
like
went into the hospital?
17.
Yeah. Whew,
So.
man,
So if they were concerned about, I would guess probably the age is the big difference, though.
for sure.
So, but
I
yeah,
didn't notice that my scar is still really prominent in my
hmm
face. Everybody goes, "Oh, I can't even notice it." Bullshit, you're lying to me.
yeah.
Oh, we watched Something Bad is About to Happen. That was interesting. I don't know how they can do a second part though. For anybody that wants to watch it that hasn't watched it, we won't give away the plot line because it just came out on Thursday. Here comes our guest.
All right. So today's guest is Peter Veunnasack, and we will be talking about the 2001 movie Rockstar. So how you doing today, Peter?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. Yeah,
Back on.
it's gonna be fun. I think you're the first time we've had a guest on to do like a movie, so this will be fun. Usually it's just our kid joining us and the three of us talking, so this will be a lot of fun. So
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the last time I even like jumped in to review a movie. Like it's
yeah.
usually just like TV shows and other things. But yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've done an actual movie. Probably even for like my movie podcast. I can't can't remember the last movie I reviewed. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm not gonna lie. I'll tip in my hand just a bit, but I had a good time rewatching this.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Cool. And yeah, this is fun for me because for one, the lead singer of Judas Priest lives in Arizona, and I've actually met him before. So it was interesting seeing this movie that's based on that situation because the reason I met him is because he wasn't in Judas Priest at the time because of what happened in this situation where he was replaced and all that. So,
This
but
is the Ripper, the
Tim Ripper Owens, yeah,
Ripper. Okay, Tim Ripper
yeah,
Owens. Wow.
and then ended up being a whole misunderstanding, according to Judas Priest, the rest of the guys, and Rob Halford. They thought Rob Halford was leaving, and he thought they were kicking him out, and neither happened. But both parties assumed that, so they just disbanded for about 10 years, and no one ever
Wow.
kicked anyone out or left. So
It's just one of those maybe not even a disagreement, just nobody it's like in movies when you withhold information, from someone, and it's just like if you just told them the one thing, the movie wouldn't exist, right? Like
yeah,
the movie would just end. There was a like a few years back. I think this is probably when Cobra Kai has not yet come to Netflix, and we had that year and a half lull where nobody knew what the hell was going to happen, and we shout out I don't remember who actually started it, but we started doing this like three panel meme where so the first panel is Daniel and his mom hopping in, right? And it's like the
Hmm.
beginning of the Karate Kid. And and then and then whatever the second one is basically the way to ruin Karate Kid. And then you end it with the end credits of Karate Kid. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, it might be like Johnny and Daniel on the beach, and it's like, hey man, I'm sorry for hitting you. It's totally cool. And then like the end,
The end.
right? So it's just like it's just that one thing. If you just relate that one piece of information, then like you could have saved everybody all the headaches and problems. So it's kind of like with this story. It's just like really like nobody did anything. You guys just it was
Yeah.
just a big misunderstanding in a whole last decade. You guys didn't talk.
Exactly. Yeah, but and like I said, though, had that not happened, I would not have met him because he went solo and did some shows out here, and I got to meet him. So it's like a happy, sad kind of thing that I was sad that they broke up for that time, but I was happy that I got to meet the guy because I'd been trying to for a long time because he moved out here in '84. So
Wow.
yeah, he's been out
Wow.
here a long time. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And I also wanted to, because I know that music's a big thing with you as well, Peter. This is one of my
Yeah.
favorite soundtracks. And we'll get into it a little bit more as we go, but the band Steel Dragon is like a real band, technically, that they formed on
Okay.
this set. So,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
I did see that some people, formed a band or went on to play with each other. Like the guy who plays like AC, I think
yeah,
him and one of the other Steel Dragon bandmates also played together. Yeah, I
yeah,
read something like that. Yeah,
yeah,
I do like the soundtrack, and
which I
I'm
actually
forgetting
have
my man's.
right here.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You know, I felt like this was kind of like a spiritual blender of like Wedding Singer and like Wayne's World. There was like a bunch of like things that I just love from pop culture, like other movies and stuff that it kind of reminded me of. I think Wedding Singer because I'm blanking on the my man's name here, Chris's brother, the
Oh,
cop.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Matthew Glave.
Yeah.
Right, because he was also right in
Yeah,
Wedding
he
Singer. He
was,
drove the DeLorean,
yeah,
right?
Julia
The
Gulia.
Julia
Gulia, that's
Julia.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so like to see him was nice because I do like seeing him, but it's the whole shade on Air Supply. It's like, well, what's wrong with Air Supply? Like when he said that, I go, thank you. There's nothing wrong with Air Supply. Like I get down with some Air Supply. Um, I will just like what are their songs? They have like
All
I
Out
mean
of Love
it
is one
all
of
out of love.
theirs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I that's probably one that I would just kind of randomly sing. Um usually like to my daughter who's 7 and she's like really getting into like a lot of 80s and 90s music like my oldest son just visited. I've kind of shared just I don't know if I
Mm.
shared that with you or
Yeah.
with
Yeah. Yeah.
you guys, but yeah, so my eldest came to visit from St. Louis, and he decided to introduce the littles, mind you, 5 and 7, Pitch Perfect. It's fine, music, okay, yeah, but I knew PG-13, and I'm like, they're in college. I was like, there's probably going to be some language, but hopefully it goes over their heads. And all this to say is that I got my daughter, who's 7, onto the Bangles,
Oh,
and
nice.
so she loves Walk Like an Egyptian and Eternal Flame.
Hmm.
And I had forgotten that in Pitch Perfect they sing Eternal Flame. So when that came on, she looked at me and just started cheesing because
Yeah.
she actually loves that song. And so yeah, it's been really cool to kind of get them onto older stuff. So like Air Supply, I might just like sing out the title if it came out. But Sweet Dreams is or is it Sweet Dream? It might be Sweet Dream. That I also really like of theirs. I don't know if that was ever a single, but
I don't think
might
so.
be one of the. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I did not know. Are they Australian? Uh,
That or maybe
I'll have to look that
English.
up.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Did you
because
tell
I
did
just
you tell them about Chicago?
What happened in
What
Chicago?
happened in Chicago?
that sounds familiar. That's not
Cobra
from
Kai.
Cobra
Rockstar though,
Kai.
right?
Yeah,
Okay,
no, it's
okay,
Cobra Kai.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Was that season five,
Five.
four,
Five. Yeah.
five,
Five.
five? Okay,
Five.
okay. I was like, what's that? Okay, I feel like an idiot. Okay. Air Supply is Australia. Wow, they formed in 75. So
Jeez. Wow.
I surprised some people, some of the things that I like Boney M, from the 70s. You guys familiar with Boney
I've
M?
never heard of it. No.
Yeah, they are feel German or something like that. I think one of the producers of Boney M also went on to help Milli Vanilli or something like that.
Hmm.
There's some sort of connection because I had seen a documentary, but who did songs like Daddy Cool, Rasputin. Rasputin has actually made a resurgence. I believe like the TikTok generation, I think they've been using like a version of Rasputin for like a dance challenge perhaps, but I think it also showed up in a commercial for something. So yeah, it that is also just one of those I guess obscure bands where I just like yeah Boney M like what the hell is that? Um but yeah, I'd be interested to if you guys threw on a few of their singles just to see if it's catchy at all. But
Yeah.
yeah, my dad grew up playing guitar, and so he introduced me to stuff like the CCRs and the Boney M's, the ABBAs, the Bee Gees, and so yeah, I have an appreciation for that era. And now this movie takes place in 85.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
85. And yeah, I love how it starts very garage bandy, where it's the bottom of like a adult film movie theater or whatever. They're in the basement
Basement.
of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I mean, then this is kind of what reminds me of like your Wayne's World a little bit, like
Yeah.
these,
Yeah.
yeah, these f fanboys. I actually had once interviewed a guy from the Flux Capacitors,
Okay.
and so I actually had in my interview is where I kind of had this discussion between a tribute band and a cover
Cover
band
band.
because
Yeah.
I called yeah I think I called them a cover band and if I remember correctly what was he the keyboardist I think he was the keyboardist corrected me and said that they were a tribute band and like like his response almost kind of gave me the vibe as I insulted him and so when that came up in this movie, it kind of took me back to that interview. I was just like, oh, I felt like an idiot, but it was just one of those things. Like, he was probably the first musician I had interviewed, so I didn't know the lingo and stuff like that. But yeah,
So
I quite like this, and I hadn't remembered like the tone of the movie,
yeah.
but the script. This is a funny movie. It's
Yeah.
like it's really funny.
Is. Yeah, so really the difference, so someone that doesn't snap at you or feel like you're insulting them can explain it. A cover band covers like a plethora of musician or music, um,
Right.
like different bands and stuff, whereas a tribute band focuses on one band in particular, and that's it.
Right, right.
So
Yeah, yeah. I did read that as well. Um
I just didn't
but
want you
but
to have
I
a bad taste in your mouth about it, so I figure I'd
oh
explain it
sure,
to you
sure.
from
Yeah, I have to
to
go
me, you're
back
still
because
covering songs, you're not writing your own, so who cares?
but also if you are called the flux capacitors and you prefer a tribute band, are you covering or are you just doing the songs from the movie?
Yeah, but
See,
that
so
they're still
I
different
didn't even
bands though.
know.
Hmm.
So if
Right.
they're doing
Yeah.
like Huey Lewis and oh God, what else would they be doing from that? Any of
Okay.
the any of the other music from
Right.
like Back to the Future,
Yeah.
they'd be covering different bands, so they're a
Yeah.
cover band. So
Yeah.
you didn't say
Right.
anything at a
Right.
turn then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they're doing just Huey Lewis stuff, they're not a tribute band. So
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll have to go back because I think they still get together for like these big Back to the Future events. So yeah. I even when he responded, I felt like it was a big get because um it's like the one band that a lot of Back to the Future fans are familiar with, that like follow the movies. And I know that like they dress up as characters from the movies as well, so
Have you ever heard of the band Galactic Empire?
I have not.
Well, they're like a more of a metal band, but they cover like Indiana Jones and Star Wars and all stuff like that. But
It's
they
really
dress up
cool.
in Star Wars uniforms and play and stuff.
Nice.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really
Made me
cool.
think of that. So
So they just cover like the scores
yeah, they do like
from.
Jurassic
Okay.
Park, Indiana Jones. All it's really cool.
It's really
They
good.
did like the Book of Boba Fett theme stuff like that. They did the Batman theme from like the 80s movies and stuff. So it's pretty
Oh
cool.
wow. Yeah, okay. So it's not just John Williams. So it's just like yeah, scores from like iconic movies.
Yeah, yeah, they cover all kinds of stuff now. They started off as just Star Wars and then they branched out a little bit, but just made me think of that
Yeah.
too because they're always in wearing costumes and stuff on stage playing and all that. So it's pretty
I'll have
interesting.
to get that name from you again
Okay,
afterwards.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
have to. Yeah, yeah. Check that
it's
out.
cool. Yeah, I'll text it to you. So, but
Um.
anyway, back to the movie. We're talking about them being in the basement and everything. Um, that's pretty much how it goes. Typically, a lot of bands will just be underground somewhere rehearsing. It's any place they can get for free or cheap. And so it's really cool to hear that. But did you look up who did the vocals for um, Mark Wahlberg's
It,
character?
it's yeah. It's a name I couldn't pronounce, and it starts with a M.
It's
And yeah.
Milajenko Matijevic.
Okay.
He was in a band called Steel Heart, which is really, really good
They're really
band.
good.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
sure you've heard them.
Yeah.
It's one of those bands you would like, oh, yeah, yeah, I've heard that. I just didn't know that was them, kind of a thing.
But
Probably. I
yeah,
liked a lot of the songs
yeah.
from
Yeah.
Steel Dragon. Yeah. It was let me ask you guys this. What is your history? Or maybe not. Yeah, when was the first time you guys saw this? Because I I think I think the first time I watched it was probably a movie rental from Blockbuster. I don't think I saw this in the theater, but I did see it released on the 7th of September in 2001. And
Yeah, I saw it when it
so
came out. Yeah. Which
okay,
I'm
so
I'm
okay,
glad I did because 4 days later we got hit. So
right,
no
right.
one was
And
going
so
anywhere.
I was in the middle of basic training
Okay.
when the two towers were hit,
Hmm.
and at that time there was no smartphones. We had very little access to the outside world. So we were told what happened, but they didn't bring in a TV for us to watch until like later in the evening. And that was the first time we saw the news. But watching this movie, I didn't remember enjoying it as much before. Like I don't think I appreciated the film um at that time. Because if it's a movie rental, this is several months after
Right.
9/11. Um, And so I'm thinking like, well, what happened? Because I feel like did this movie go under the radar? I was just like Jennifer Aniston's in it, like we're still like a few years removed from the finale of Friends. Mark Wahlberg's on the rise, he's done like Perfect Storm, he's done Big Hit at this point. Obviously he's already done Boogie Nights, and I'm just like, oh man, he really put in like a really great performance, and you got a kick-ass soundtrack. You got a lot of great people involved in it. The writer, what is it, Jonathan Stockwell, I think
I
it
think
is.
so. Yeah.
Eh, yeah, he's done some things, not a ton of like great things, but he's done some things. But Stephen Herc, I believe his last name is pronounced Herc. He's done a lot of cool stuff too, from like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, to yeah, I was trying to give you something like silly as that, but like something more serious that's all good. But he's got some range, and so like these are people who have some experience, and they know what they're doing. So I'm watching this, I'm like, no, this is a really good movie. Like, what happened? Was it underseen? Blah blah blah. It was the 9/11. Like I
Yeah.
think Glitter. I haven't seen the movie Glitter with Mariah Carey, but there's like this huge story that kind of like involved like 9/11 as well. And it's not the attacks that made that movie bad. It made the production bad, which also made the movie suck, from what I understand. So that didn't happen with Rockstar, but I think with the stuff that was going on around in our country, I think maybe it was kind of underseen. And so unless you like you guys who were like into, the music and want to check this out, do you guys like look up the like box office numbers or anything? I'm just kind of curious
Yeah,
how well it did.
I had it
Yeah.
somewhere. It didn't.
Okay.
I think the budget was like 50 million and it made like 17 or something yeah, it
Wow.
bombed pretty bad.
It
But again,
huge
it
flop.
came out the Friday before 9/11 happened, and even at that point I think, like, I don't remember after that happening because I saw it the night it came out. So
Yeah.
like by that next Tuesday, even when people started to go out and stuff, I think they're just going out to do things, not to go sit in a movie theater. I think people were being
Right.
afraid to be in buildings for long periods of time after that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think just when it came out, it just hurt it bad because
Yeah.
everything was shut down for a week, pretty much everywhere. And then the next week, people are just like, let's just go out and go to the park. Let's go hang out. Let's go have fun. Do this. That's 2 weeks. People haven't been seeing any movies. Finally, it gets to like a month. They're like, okay, let's just put it
Pull
out.
it.
Pull it and put it out on DVD or whatever and cut our losses. And then, luckily, like there's not a football game or sports game or sport anything that I watch now that I do not hear stand up and shout being played from this movie in the
Oh
arena.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
And Stand Up and Shout is sung by Jeff Scott Soto, not
No, they both did it. They both did
Soto.
everything.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they
Okay.
had to do it for Mark Wahlberg. So Jeff Scott Soto sang for Bobby Beers, and Ilajenko sang for
Mark.
Wahlberg.
Although I always thought Mark Wahlberg could have done it if he had put the effort into it, because Mark Wahlberg can do anything,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they
but he
just
sets
wanted
his mind
that
to it.
80s sound though,
I
and
still think he could have done it.
I don't know. He said this was his most fun movie he's ever been on set for, though. Mark Wahlberg.
And I also read that little note, and that was after I had watched it. He's pretty amazing, honestly. Like he really drew me in, to his character. Like I felt like he is Chris Stone. And I even read a thing where uh originally they wanted Brad Pitt for this role,
He turned it down
you
for
know.
creative differences or something. Yeah.
Yeah, because I also saw that George Clooney was like an executive producer. And I don't know if they're like producing buddies, but obviously Pitt and Clooney are both best friends. And so I was trying to like even imagine it with a Brad Pitt, and I can't. If we're thinking like it's I think that might be like even right around the time of the first Ocean's 11, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he could have done it, but he might have been just, I don't know. Aren't they a little bit apart in age between Wahlberg
I think
and Pitt?
so.
I think Brad Pitt's
Probably a little older.
closing in on 60, if not over
Okay.
60, and
Okay, so they're probably just like a
Wahlberg's
few years.
see
It was just
Wahlberg's in
crazy
his
that
40s.
of everyone out at that time, that Brad Pitt was the only one that everyone said was the only other one to do it. It's like you would think they would have brought in like actual like maybe singers that have gone to acting and stuff. And so that was just interesting to see that Brad Pitt was the only other one besides Mark
Hmm.
Wahlberg, which Wahlberg makes sense because he has the musical background, which is
Yeah,
funny at the end of the film and during the credits when they do that. So when they play Mark Wahlberg's song,
So Mark Wahlberg's
right.
54 now, and Brad
54.
Pitt is 62.
Okay.
Okay, so that's almost a whole last decade. And I do like them going with Wahlberg more because it is the idea of was it Brian Beers, right, being replaced by somebody younger, right? So I think I don't know what Brad Pitt would have looked like, standing next to the actor of is it Brian Beers? Is that the
Bobby Beer.
Bobby
Bobby
character's
Beers.
name?
Beers.
Bobby Beers. Okay, I knew that didn't sound right. But yeah, Bobby Beers. Like, I think that actor probably would have also maybe looked younger than Brad Pitt. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and you could have changed the dialogue and stuff like that, but but Chris Stone, Is it Chris Stone?
Chris
Chris Cole.
Cole.
Cool. Okay, so Chris Stone is a character in the next Quantum Leap episode I'm reviewing.
Okay.
Who's also a musician. He's a stuntman who wants to be a musician, and his dad is not supportive. And so what I do like about in Rockstar is his parents are super
Oh,
supportive.
they're all, yeah, they're all in.
Yeah, they're all in on it. The brother is kind of like he's the comedic relief, which I do love.
With a little
And
tinge of like
yeah,
jealousy even where
Yeah.
just a little
you
bit.
can tell this is probably what he wanted to do and he's like I had to become a cop because I had to grow up and become and then he's like but my little brother gets to live do what I wanted to do. You kind
Yeah,
of and I like that
100%.
you can pick up on that without them saying it and
Right.
beating you over the head with it. You can tell he's more jealous than he is upset at him. So,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, because they're not even like really like fighting. And you could tell it's just I think like I brought it up the whole air supply thing. Like I think that dates the brother a little bit too. So okay, so he's a little bit older and maybe like he was kind of coming down on kind of like that fantasy. Um as like the hair metal stuff was coming up. So I think his brother has an appreciation for that, but maybe feels like he kind of missed a boat and actually had to grow up. So yeah, there's that sibling not necessarily even a rivalry, but there the bigger brother, he does take that jab. At one point it's like, what, you're like, isn't this phase supposed to like fizzle out when you're like 14 or whatever it was, And so like that's all that kind of rings true to like, I have a brother 4 years my senior, and it's, I'm just like, I'm guilty of like playing games and on my computer and podcasting, stuff like that. But I also, he's 39 years old. He hasn't dated in I don't know how long. And I'm just like, you're 39, you're almost 40. Are you ever gonna start a family? Like, is this all you want to do? Literally just like stream and play computer games? But he's been doing this since he was a kid. I'm just like, you're still that, 14-year-old, when are you gonna grow up a little bit, So I totally get it. I love that dynamic. Um, I think there was gonna be a comment. I love the parents. I love the mom. Like all of those could have been played different ways, but I just love that support group, and especially when it's on the rooftop. I forget what sequence it is, but it's when Chris does shout out his brother. It's like, oh, because he throws shade to his brother, but then yeah, his brother gave him
gave
like
the
the Steel
albums.
Dragon.
Thanks for my
Right.
brother, especially because you're the one that gave you got rid of it and gave him to me or whatever, something along those lines, and kind of took a
Yeah,
little jab at him without
right.
really doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he said that the brother gave him the record because he hated it,
yeah.
but it was his parents that allowed him to play it as loud as he wants. I thought that was really, really
Yeah.
awesome. It
Well, when
was a
his
way to
dad
kind of get you.
brought up the song Black Babylon, I think it was or something, he's like, "Oh, they haven't played that in years," but his dad knew the song, and yeah, that was really cool.
Okay.
It's really cool having like supporting parents like
Mhm.
that because that makes a big difference too. Um,
Another little touch that I quite enjoyed is when um what is Chris's band's name? Is
Blood
it Black
Pollution,
Babylon? But okay, Blood
Blood
Pollution.
Pollution,
Black Babylon is the
the other one,
rival.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. So
that's great too.
And that's
I and I
the lead singer of that band is Stephen Jenkins from Third Eye Blind.
okay. I'm familiar with Third Eye Blind. That rivalry, it reminded me of something like a I don't know, was it Galaxy Quest? No, there was another like Fanboys. There was a movie called
Oh yes, yeah.
Fanboys.
Oh, we know that one. Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that movie. Yeah,
And wasn't it was it
the Trek,
Trekkies
Star
versus
Trek. Yeah,
Trekkers or the Star Wars and Trekkies? I kind of forget, but
oh
there
boy,
was definitely
yeah.
like there
Was it
was
at
some
that
beef like in
convention
the
or
parking
whatever?
lot. Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Seth Rogen might have been involved, maybe wearing the
Yeah.
ears.
Something, yeah.
That's is what it reminded me of.
Oh, it was the statue, the Khan statue.
It's been
And it
so
was
long.
it was Star Wars and Star Trek and he
Okay.
kept calling him Trekkie and it's Trekker and You
Right.
said something about Darth Vader's something with asthma or whatever, or something like that. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to either watch that again or the clip. I feel like for some reason my mind is saying 2007, so that's probably like the last time I saw that is when it came out. Because when Blockbuster was around, I was probably you know, it was just probably before the kids because even with Netflix, when they used to do like the three DVDs, I had it set in a way where I would watch a movie, mail one off, but every day I would get a brand new movie, and I was watching at least a movie every day. So I had like a formula, and even with Blockbuster, you know, like well, I worked at Blockbuster for a couple of years, so I would get my 5 free movies a week. So I was just watching everything as they were coming up. Often I don't get a chance to go back and rewatch it a ton, but and nowadays, yeah, I don't get a chance to you know, if it's over 2 hours, forget about it. I might have to finish it in two sittings, you know, watch half of it, you know, after the kids go to bed, finish it the night after. But yeah, watching this, it was almost like watching a brand new movie. You know, it's been 25 years, and I just and I guess I say like I feel like it's a different movie because I didn't remember responding uh responding the way I did back in 2001 again, mind you, you know, the things that were going on. I myself, teenage father, a single father coming back from basic training, you know, trying to get my life started. But yeah, the I don't know, maybe because I see a little bit of myself in the Chris character. I think we all can relate to someone like that that is so passionate about something like a Cobra Kai, you know, that you just go like all in into something like that, and you get the attention of you know those involved with that project, and you yourself be kind of become part of the fabric of the fandom. And so, yeah, I do love seeing like his rise, and I think the story is something very familiar. You know, like yeah, this guy goes on the rise, and then he gets kind of what's the word? He gets seduced by the force, right? Like
Oh yeah.
that's basically what happens, you know, like the fame and not even necessarily the fortune, but you know, and if it's not a girlfriend that he starts to leave behind, it's gonna be a best friend, you know, like the Timothy Oliphant character kind of thing
Yeah.
that you're gonna leave behind. And
They're
so
taking
yeah,
this
all those
way too seriously.
yeah, that was a great scene too. And kudos to Oliphant, you
He's
know, who
great,
like I
yeah.
didn't he's great. I didn't see Justified, but I know a ton of his movies.
Oh,
You know,
that's a good
he
series. Yeah.
Justified so good.
yeah, I know, yeah. It's definitely a blind spot for me. But you know, like Scream 3, like you know, I'm very familiar with this actor, and so to see him play this role, it's so funny.
Hmm.
And same thing, like they're all playing it straight, but the script is so hilarious. Like I
Yeah.
just want to laugh at everything because
When he's like, I'm
I,
not
you know, like
not calling him Izzy.
right, yeah. And I'm just like, do you guys hear yourselves? But it's just so
Yeah.
funny because it's so true. I think that's the other thing, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And I love the phone call when they ask him to come out and audition and he hangs up on him. He's like, yeah,
Oh,
okay.
and
Yeah,
that's that really
and he
great thing
he
too.
quizzes him
Oh,
on his own band. He's like, okay, so if you are blah blah blah, then you know.
and it's funny too because even if I was the guy calling, I'm just like, well, I'd be revealing this stuff to you, not knowing that you even know this stuff. You should
Yeah.
tell me what you know about me. But I do like that sequence, and I do love how um you know, like the house is really busy. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
He hangs up the phone and they really linger on him, like walking up the stairs, you know, to give us that phone call again. And we all kind of remember how that was like, you know, nobody's walking around with a cell phone in here. And so I do kind of like, I saw that and I kind of miss that nostalgia of having to run for the phone. Like, no, that's for me, you know, or, you know, just like the kids aren't gonna they still have, I suppose, people, kids can still like leave people on red or see somebody calling, but there's something, you know, about the days of pre-caller ID
Hmm.
and really not knowing who's calling, and it's like man, you are not Steel Dragon calling me like, and so that was a lot of fun to watch. It's just hard to put into words, but it's nothing like the kids nowadays are ever going to experience.
Or missing
I was
that
just
call, not being home for that call, and you go home.
right.
Oh my God! Oh, I better call him like right now, because yeah, that
How
that kind
many
of
missed opportunities did we
yeah.
have? At that, back in the late 80s, maybe I could have made it on a Full House or a Saved by the Bell, and I just missed a call. Um, I was just listening to, because my kids they're into Full House. I do listen to the I think it's called Hello Tanneritos, with Andrea Barber and Jodie Sweetin, and they were talking about like Star 69 and Star 67 because they were talking about pagers, but I was just like, that's right, I forgot all about
You could
that.
block a
You know,
call or yeah, recall it,
block a
stuff like that.
call and then recall back, and it's like, ha, got you, bitch. Yeah, different days. Yeah, the pranking has come a long way,
And it's
for
the
sure.
how did we even learn that? Like who told us that kind of thing?
Right.
Like how do you even because not like we were
Yeah.
looking up online, like how do you block a number? You just can't do that. You just had to find out and hope it worked.
There used to be some sort of weird hack where I remember, and I didn't believe him at the time. This, Justin, to what you're saying, is just like, how do you even know this? A friend of mine once told me, he was like, all right, you dial these numbers, and then, oh, and it had to be on a payphone. You dial these specific numbers, and then you hang it up 3 times, and then you leave it down, and then like the phone will ring, but there's nobody on the other end. It's just some sort of weird hack. And I'm just thinking like, how how do you even
What?
know that? Like, where did you get that from? And he did it, he demonstrated it, and it worked. And I was never able to do it. But this has got to be like when I was in high school. Do you
Yeah.
guys ever remember anything like that? Like any sort of weird
Just the star six
like
seven and
payphone
star
hack?
69, yeah.
Yeah,
Or I mean, we'd have codes with pagers where like if we sent a
right.
certain like a number system, they'd know what it was and stuff. Or,
What was your guys' codes
I
or pager codes?
I honestly do not even remember. I just remember we
Mine
had
was
them. Me and my friends had them.
yeah,
Like for out not together, they say, "Hey, man, for having band practice or something." Like we'd send like a specific code. Back in those days, because we were a metal band, it was probably 666. So,
Oh, okay.
just to
Oh,
throw that
then
out
I
there.
meant like a kind of like an identifier, like if I was if I was paging somebody, but I was at a number that th're not familiar with, so I would page them with that phone number
Oh, okay.
dash, a 2-digit number
Hmm.
to identify myself. So my code was 58. So if you got a page with a random number, but it said -58, like, oh, that's Peter.
Okay.
I need to call Peter real quick. Yeah, yeah. So like because we need to be able to spell with numbers as well, not necessarily just like what is it? A is, or I'm sorry, like two is ABC,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And so people would spell that way, but sometimes, like you could like I think B you can use as a eight, but eight can also be an A. So
Yeah.
there was like different codes you can spell with, but that's a whole ass other
Yeah.
conversation. But
We're
yeah,
really
the whole
dating
phone
ourselves right
thing,
now.
we really are. But this movie taking place in '85, it was
Hmm.
kind of like, even though it was filmed in like probably '99, 2000,
Yeah.
maybe even early 2001, they really nailed the era, just the look. Like I keep referencing a Wedding Singer because like that was also what released in '99. Yeah, but it took place
I think it
in,
was 85 as
Yeah.
well.
you could be right,
Because
because I'm
yeah,
thinking
see, it
about
was Van
the
Halen break up the band thing, and that happened in 85 when they broke up. So it was right 84, 85. Yeah,
I
probably.
was only gonna guess '85 because of the whole DeLorean thing,
Yeah.
popularized,
Yeah.
by Back
Back
to the
to the
Future.
Future. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I like these things where it's like it's kind of a period, and they're just, yeah, kind of nailing, that era, just the look and the feel
Hmm.
um was really good. What did you guys think about the Jennifer Aniston casting?
I liked it.
I liked it.
I'm a fan of
I
hers.
liked I liked her talent speech when she leaves with
Oh,
Chris Cole, where she's like, "All the talent in this room just left." And
that was really good. Her
that speaks volumes to like, hey, you guys screwed up. She's pretty much telling all of them, you guys really screwed up. and just wait. And then seriously, the
Right.
next day he gets the phone call.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah, because her voice cracks a little bit, right?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
yeah, all the talent in this room just left or whatever it was. Yeah, for me, like I enjoyed her, but like I feel like she was just underused. Um because like yeah, like 2001, like
Still doing
Friends
Friends
was
though.
huge. Yeah, yeah, she's still they're
So I
still
wonder
like
if she maybe only had so much time.
Yeah, limited on
And
the
maybe
oh,
that's
you
why
know, that could
availability.
be it.
they made her disappear for that period of time too. She
That
might
could
have
be
she might have just been in between filming and she had to get back or something. They can only do
but
so much.
and also her and Brad Pitt, you know, they were together. So like, you know, where was this in the timeline? Where had they been together yet? Or because I know Brad Pitt also made a cameo on Friends, and I don't remember what season that was. Because I don't remember, you know, the chicken and the egg. Did they start dating because he was on Friends, or did he come on Friends because they were dating? But
They were already dating
may,
at that time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so and maybe that was a project for the two of them, you know, and he left on, you know, due to creative differences. I do. Man, I want to hear that story too. You
Yeah,
know, that'd be really interesting.
sure.
But
Yeah.
has Brad Pitt done a, let's just call it a musical for a shorthand, but has he done a musical? I kind of wonder.
I mean, he played Lestat in Interview with the Vampire, but Lestat wasn't a rock star at that time. Uh,
But those vampires are basically rock
Not
stars. Like
Lestat,
Yeah.
not Lestat.
yeah.
I'm sorry, he didn't play Lestat. That was Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, but I get what you're saying. Like because like as a kid, gosh, what well okay, so Interview with the Vampire was 93, so I was like 10 years old, you know, and but what I remembered was I didn't know Lestat was like a musician until like um Queen of the Damned, right, with Aaliyah. And because I thought that they were like changing things, and I didn't know it was like based on a book and stuff. But I do remember how big Interview with a Vampire was, and I just associated, you know, not rock star in the musical sense, but like rock stars, you know, like Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise were like vampire rock stars, you know,
Yeah.
because it was such a like a big deal. It was such a big deal. Like I remember it was like the MTV Movie Awards, perhaps, where they did like a 1960s Batman. Um, well, they had like Adam West.
Mm.
I'm blanking on the guy who played the Riddler.
Oh, that
There's
was
got to be F-
uh,
Frank Grosh,
oh, Frank
sure, Grosh.
Gorshin.
Gorshin. Okay. Yeah. So there might have been a third cast member from the 60s Batman, but they were playing out the Interview with the Vampire sequence. And then there's a sequence where like Bruce Wayne, I think, is like, you know, he's like biting the neck of like Riddler. And so yeah, they were just like, you know, kind of mimicking that the movie. So like it was big. But yeah, I when I think of Brad Pitt in this role, I'm just like I can't picture him. I'd have to see him in the wig and stuff. But I'm thinking like maybe better suited for something like Rock of Ages, you know, but that
Which
wouldn't be
Tom
for like
Cruise did.
a
So
exactly. So like
yeah.
I think like that's something that I could see him in, but
Mhm.
hard for me to and he had the look too, even like I guess even like Thelma and
Yeah.
Louise. Well, God, what year was that?
Oh
Maybe that
boy.
was even like 94.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember him from God, a river
River
runs through
Through
it.
It. Oh,
You know, that was a big
yeah.
one too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I should not have been watching that movie, but that's one I watched. That's the one with the brothers, or am I mix? No,
Yeah.
no. I'm Legends of the Fall.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
mistaking it with the Legends of the
Oh,
Fall.
okay.
That one's
Did
good
you
too.
see that one?
That one's good.
Yeah. Well, that's Anthony
That's a good
Hopkins,
one.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Aiden Quinn.
Sorry.
Two. Gosh, I'm forgetting the. Yeah, it's like I think that era of Brad Pitt might have been good for this role, and
Snatch.
then
Have you
yeah,
seen Snatch?
Snatch.
Because that was
I
around.
haven't
Was
seen
that around
Snatch.
this time too? Was that a little
I think it
later?
was
That's a little
after
later.
it.
Was
Yeah.
okay.
It was a little later because that was a remake of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Yeah, and I think that came out early aughts too. But every time I just envision Brad Pitt, I'm just like, yeah, you're too Brad Pitt for this, you
Yeah,
know. So
yeah.
I
He
think
doesn't
Mark
have that
Wahlberg was just
edge.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could if I think of Brad Pitt in the ways of being a musician, I instantly go country. I don't know why. I could see him portraying a country singer, but not a rock star.
Yeah,
So like a Star is Born
or
kind of a
at least
thing.
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
down. Yeah, yeah, something like that. But yeah, I think maybe if Rockstar had come out a few years before, then I think yeah, now you're looking at Brad Pitt around the time of like Mark Wahlberg. Like I think that works because they're you said they're like 6 years
Six
apart. So
years
yeah,
apart.
if Rockstar came out a few years before, I could see it, but around yeah, the turn of the century there, like I don't know, Brad Pitt might have been too big because like I said, like Mark Wahlberg really did the Homer Simpson and blended into the bushes, you know, like that's Chris Cole. See, I almost said Stone again. That's crazy.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
well, I
both,
mean, I think he was perfect for the role for what it was. Again,
yeah,
he's not too
yes.
far removed from being doing music, so he still has that part to him. Uh, he just had the look because he played the like tribute band character very very well, but then he also seemed to gravitate and get into being the lead singer of the band he was being a tribute for as well. I just think it was great that he it's the way he sang too. He sang different in both bands. You could tell he didn't have as much confidence in the tribute band, but when he got to Steel Dragon, even when he fell down the stairs and stuff, he just wiped it off and went back out and just got real aggressive and was just like, "No, this is me. This is my. I'm not losing this." And he had that too. Whereas in the tribute band, you can kind of see him get a little like when the fight happened, when he busted the amp and all that, he was more
Oh yeah, yeah.
less in control.
They're so petty. They're so petty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I almost kind of wanted a little bit more of the Oliphant and Wahlberg like
Hmm.
dynamic. They're so good together. I wish that I mean we got some good stuff and it was nice to see them playing together again like towards the end of the movie. But I could have used like a really good falling out. Well, no, I guess we did have it
Or
when he got replaced.
or they go to like one. He's out there at one of the concerts or something, and like Chris Cole blows him off or something. They all go to meet and greet, and or somehow they get back there, and he's like, no, no, you get rid of him or something like that.
Hmm.
Show a little bitterness
Yeah.
with it. With it would have been cool.
Yeah.
So
You know,
I
like
think that
yeah,
would have been a fun scene to do.
he could have been with the family, right?
Yeah,
When that guard was not letting him in. It's like, man,
yeah.
you're not. No, no. What did they say? They're like, oh yeah, we're
Mom,
here to
or
see. Like,
he's yelling
did
at
they
his
actually say Chris at first? It was like, there's no Chris. It's like Izzy. Like, we're
Izzy.
here to see
Yeah, yeah,
Izzy.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like, yeah, I did like that whole sequence, and like the mom, she's like, I'm his mother. I love that.
And
She's
then
so proud.
the brother doesn't get through, and he's mom.
That's hilarious too. Again, like that's something could have came straight from like Wedding Singer too.
What
Like it
exactly?
that part was so funny. Yeah. Like I think it would have been too far, obviously. Well, I mean, they kind of did it. They were holding up, like, yeah, VIP or whatever.
Mhm.
So
And that was very
it
Wayne's
just made me
World
think
right
of,
there.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like, oh, just showing everybody. I love that. That would have been, I mean, as a fanboy of like those films as well. Both Wayne's World, even part two is not great, but part two, it would have been funny to just have them, kind of maybe not actually meet Wayne and Garth, but like if Mike Meyer, and um
Dana
Dana
Carvey.
Carvey was there. Yeah, yeah, just in like some other role that would have been fun. Kind of like
Yeah.
seeing like Mike Meyer in Bohemian Rhapsody. Like
Mhm.
there's that nod. You're just like, hey,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool that they incorporated him. But yeah, I was really just that the filmmakers got like all these people that were actual bands and stuff too. So that was really really cool to see. Nothing I picked up on, but there was at least one musician. I couldn't tell you which one it was, but I was just like, that actor looks a little bit old to be playing that role. And that's before I found out that like a lot of these guys were actual like musicians from some of these bands. So that was
Yeah, so
kind of fun.
Zach Wild is most known for playing guitar in Ozzy. So he was a guitarist with like the big beard and all that
With the
stuff.
shotgun
With the
shooting
shot.
the street signs.
Yeah.
In real life.
Or no, he didn't have. Did he have the beard?
Well, in
No,
the movie,
Yeah.
he was shooting he had the rifle
yeah,
and he was always shooting out the window.
not the one he was shooting the road signs.
Yeah, the road signs
Yeah. Oh,
out the
shooting out
window.
of the window. Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
What part was that?
They were on tour. They were getting ready to go on tour, and it showed the bus going through different rural areas, and he would stick the shotgun out the window and shoot signs.
Oh, I don't remember that movie, but I or
But
but
yeah, so he
it's the
was he.
montage. Is it montage,
Yeah, more.
right?
Yeah, a little bit of that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was after I think Jennifer Aniston leaves. They go on that little mantra thing. Whatever.
Because
And
I
then
think 'cause don't they play kind of like a third song over that one, right? Like this is after like the one he was recording where he kept on missing the cue.
that was a little bit later. Yeah.
That's a little bit later. Okay, so yeah, I can't place that one.
And
Okay,
then
well,
Jason Bonham
but
was the
the
drummer, who's John Bonham's son. So he played he's a real drummer. He plays with Sammy Hagar and all. He was really big in the 80s too. He had his own band Bonham that was real big.
thought that Sammy Hagar wrote one of the
He
songs.
did,
He did.
yeah. It was Stand
Yeah.
Up and Shout, yeah. Or
Oh, okay.
It's called Stand Up
Yeah.
and the what Sammy Hagar's version. And you can hear it when it we hear that a lot at sporting events too. They'll play both sometimes just because it's funny. And then Jeff
Yeah.
Pilson was the bassist, and he's known mostly for Dawkins.
Night Ranger. Was he
Night,
a Night Ranger?
I don't think so.
I
And
only know the
then
one Dawkins song from Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
Dream Warriors.
Dream
And then
Warriors, yeah.
yeah, and then he's also Jeff Pilson now. He's the longest tenured member of Foreigner. So
Oh, okay.
he's the musical director for Foreigner now. So
I love me
he's
some
playing head
Foreigner.
games. Yeah, he's playing some head games now live. So we all know
There we
that's has
go.
a
Yeah.
special place in our hearts for that song.
Right.
So
For sure.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure I've shared this with you guys. The original song for
Survivor.
the Drunk Johnny scene,
It was going to be. Was it a Survivor song?
it was a Survivor song.
Yeah,
Oceans.
Oceans. Yeah,
Oceans.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, that might have come up on your guys' pod and I might have
Yeah.
made like a post,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. You did. Yeah. No, that was cool. Yeah, I remember because we talked about it briefly when you were on the first time, and remember that. And anytime Head Games comes on, I just think of that scene though. Like
Yep.
it's yeah, it's so good.
a bit of a tangent. Did you guys get you guys did get the Blu-ray?
Yes,
Did
Yeah.
we
you
did
guys listen to the commentaries?
on
Yes.
The two
sticks.
commentaries?
No, we haven't done because we're gonna restart it soon. We haven't done season one yet. We
The
had just
commentary
finished
for
six,
six.
so we're like, let's just do the commentary for that one since we just watched it anyway. And then when we restart it, we're gonna do the episode one commentary. So we have not done that yet. But we watched all
Okay.
the
Yeah.
bloopers, all the extended stuff. We watched all that the first night. Like it was so good.
There's some good stuff. There's that extended scene with like Stingray and I think Back to the Future and Ferris Bueller were like the two movie. I feel there might have been more. I have to
Yeah,
go back and watch it, but Stingray makes at least two movie references, and we now know that Johnny has at least seen Back to the Future because he understood that reference
yeah,
about the Destiny line. But yeah, I don't want to give too much away from the commentary, but I don't remember which of the creators it was, but they do mention that originally it was going to be a Survivor song, but they didn't reveal the name of the song.
okay.
So that's something I still have in my back pocket. Like, hey, like that's something I know officially, and so that's something they haven't really put anywhere else other than my Facebook group. So that's yeah. So little feather my cap, I guess.
Yeah, and then I know we've already covered Mila Janko, but Jeff Scott Soto, and I'm wearing a Sons of Apollo shirt for that reason. He sang with these guys as like a super group kind of thing. He did the vocals. Did we touch on that earlier? Jeff
Yeah.
Scott Soto. Okay, yeah. So he did the other vocals. So it was two real singers doing the vocals. Have you ever seen Singing in the Rain?
Have not. I
Oh, you
I
got to
I
watch
am
that.
the guy who has like even my buddy Mikey who is my co-host on the Quantum Leap podcast. I forgot how he phrased it, but basically he was just saying I have like the weirdest blind spots, like and it wasn't the word weirdest, but it was whatever he said. Just to give you some examples. Okay, I've never seen Singing in the Rain. I've never seen Jaws.
Wow.
Um and my oldest son, he owns Jaws. I still haven't seen it. I didn't see well TV shows. I haven't seen the Sopranos. That is something I want to see. I've never seen The Wire. Um, but I'm just trying to think of like some. Oh, I've never
There's,
seen. Okay, this is high on my list in terms of musicals. I've never seen The Sound of Music.
I would watch Singing in the Rain before The Sound of Music, honestly.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
Singing in the Rain has a very good comedy in it, but I don't know how to explain it. The reason I brought it up is because in the movie there's I don't want to ruin it, but it's also 70 years old, so what am I ruining? But there's a
fair
part
enough.
where
Yeah.
someone's behind a curtain singing and stuff like that. And that's how this was done because I remember reading years ago that this was an actual
Oh,
concert that
Oh,
they put on.
that's correct. Yeah.
And
right.
so Mark Wahlberg, he was singing all these songs, but someone's in the back behind the curtain singing. And so it's very
Okay.
Singing in the Rain how it was done. But
That's interesting because like so that we got to keep giving Mark Wahlberg his flowers because you got to make sure like
yeah,
your face matches like that intensity
Hmm.
with
so
the
he
shouting and the
prepared. Yeah,
screaming.
he prepared
Yeah,
because you've got to know the words, you've got to know what singing, you got to know the inflections and how, yeah, all everything you're doing in your face. Because
right.
the point was to make people believe this was a real concert. So I think they
Yeah,
did the remember when he Bobby Beers is singing and then and then you hear Mark Wahlberg singing over him and he doesn't like that at the very beginning
yeah, in the
when they go to the
beginning, yeah.
concert. I think they filmed that and then Mark Wahlberg being on stage doing all the concert footage too. And then when he has Miles Kennedy sing in it. You know that's
The end.
the lead singer of Alter Bridge, right? The guy at the end.
No, I
Yeah,
did read that he is somebody. I
it's
did
right
see that.
before Alter him. He joined the guys from Creed essentially and formed Alter Bridge. That was right before
Okay.
that. So hey, my name is Mike. My friends call me Thor and all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really him singing too, which was cool. But I think all that
Okay.
was filmed at like the same time, and it was a real concert. And I remember like Alice Cooper and all these other people were there because I guess there
Yeah.
was
Mm,
like
Ozzy was there. Nikki Six was
yeah.
there. What
so there's
crazy.
a lot of people in the crowd. But yeah, it was realistically a real concert that they did all that
Right,
footage from,
right.
which is really cool too. But again, like prepping for that because he has to get with the other singer and go, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Here's the cadence. Listen to the music. Like the singer's voice. Like know maybe listen to the instrumental version to get an idea of where your parts are and then listen to it. There's just so much that goes into something like that if you're not singing it. To have someone just behind you and
Yeah,
you're hoping because the person behind the curtain can't see you because you're facing the stage unless
right.
they're side stage or something. But yeah, that's just crazy.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. And kudos to the editing as well.
mhm.
To make us believe that that is Mark Wahlberg. I
Hmm.
mean,
Yeah.
there's times where I'm just like, oh, that's probably just him singing. But
Mhm.
then yeah, it was after the fact that I had read, there'd been a couple other uh um uh musicians, providing the voice of Chris
Yeah.
Cole. So
So the part that
yeah.
and there is a part that he does sing in. And it's the part where he's in the studio booth after he gets all upset that they wouldn't let him use his music for the new album and stuff. Like it's
Yeah.
took me months or whatever. And the first time he goes in and he's singing and he's mad and you can tell he's not singing the right words and all that, when they cut the music off and he's still going, that's him.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
the only
Yeah,
part
that I
that's
believe, yeah.
him.
And that's why I always said he could have done it. He could have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's a safer bet to have consistency though.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And that's a different type of singing. That could take a couple years to learn how to sing like that too. And that's slowing
Yeah.
down production. So they probably went the better route. Again, I just loved hearing that this was his favorite movie he's ever made because he's made some really good
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
So, and that
Yeah.
he had
He
the most fun on this set because he's like, we went out and we were rock stars. We would go party at clubs and the bandmates they would all take me out and we go party all night. And he's like, it's 6 in the morning and I just got home and I got to go to go do my part my scenes in 2 hours or whatever. And he's like, yeah,
I wonder if like I I don't know how long like he had like the entourage to show like in mind, and I wonder if like his experience on this film had any sort of inspiration to do something like Entourage. But they think about not even like Marky Mark days, but I believe he was not the drummer, but also played drums for New Kids on the Block, right?
oh, that
So
I'm not sure.
yeah,
Oh,
because his brother Johnny Wahlberg,
oh yeah,
was
yeah.
yeah, part of the band, and so I'm almost certain, I would need to get fact checked because now I'm kind of like, am I misremembering that or am I just mixing up two people? But I do believe Mark Wahlberg played drums sometimes for New Kids on the Block, and so like if that's the case, but even if it wasn't, like he does have that experience in music, like you
Yeah.
said, but also the idea of like you're the little brother, kind of like the fourth BG, right? That went on and did the whole solo thing. You got to play, basically with your brothers, and you saw their rise, and then you became a solo artist, and then got it too. And so like it's not too dissimilar from his role on Rockstar,
Hmm.
like instead of an actual family that he was following, like it's like his favorite band of all time, and then being able to play with them. So I'm sure, like I said earlier, I think everyone can watch this movie and not necessarily relate, but you see everyone can fantasize about like what is your dream job and be able to kind of live through that and wonder how would I handle that fame? Would I still be humble, or would I let the in this case like the girls, the sex, the drugs and alcohol change me?
Hmm.
So yeah, I've thought of it. I've never I played trumpet. That was the
Me
extent.
too.
Yeah, yeah. That was the extent of my music playing. All actually, what I really wanted to do was play percussion, and so I was in the sixth grade. And I signed up for band, and I think what happened is I think once you sign up for band, all you had to do was tell the teacher what you wanted to play.
Mhm.
um, and when I went into class, I looked around the room and I didn't see any of the drums out. And so I saw, like all these other instruments. So I just went trumpet, that's what I want to play, and that's what it was. And then and then they pulled out the drums from like the closets and stuff. And then like these other kids were playing drums. I'm like, ah. And I was just one of those kids that like I wouldn't have said anything. I just like, okay, I'll just right? I've never voiced my opinions or anything. I just kind of kept to myself. And so, like, maybe I could have been a drummer growing up, but I've always been fascinated with the idea of like playing with a rock band and watching a movie like at least the more recent A Star Is Born. Like there's something seductive about that, getting lost in the music and then having the people, having those fans, singing back to you, your lyrics and stuff like that. Yeah, there's no other. I mean, maybe like the movies, but like if you're an actor, you'd have to be like doing a stage play to see like I don't know people reciting your lines back to you. But I don't know if there's anything else where like the artist could see like their fan absorb that art
Yeah.
like in real time, like
Hmm.
performing music.
Yeah, there's no high like it other than playing live. I've done it many
Yeah, yeah.
times. There's nothing like
That's the
having
exact word I was
people,
looking for. 'Cause yeah, the
yeah,
high.
there's nothing like people just shouting back at you like with your music or like singing lyrics or knowing your
Or
parts
after the show,
or after
because
the show
we
and
do a
hang,
lot
yeah.
after show
I
stuff.
do a meet and greet and stuff after the shows and just hang out with the people that were there and take pictures or whatever. And just it's nothing like someone come up to you go, oh my God, man, that was awesome. You guys are amazing. It's just there's nothing like it. Which is why a
Yeah.
lot of musicians get into drugs because that time in between shows is the worst.
Mm,
So
mm.
Justin
Oh
never did
yeah,
though.
I never did any drugs or anything, but I understood why they do. Um, in
yeah,
my opinion, I just always had other things to do during that time, read or
sure,
watch
sure, yeah,
movies or listen to other music. That was my big thing. I just listened to music and get
yeah,
inspiration
yeah,
from that. So, but yeah, there's it's a really cool feeling. So I definitely understand. It's never too late to learn. So get
yeah.
get
Hey,
get some drums.
I've never heard that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like it's funny because I remember when I was 14, forgot what song I was listening to. It was a rap song. Like I think it was like Do or Die. This rap group from are they Chicago? I think they're from Chicago. But I had a stepsister, and I was listening to this like one specific song with, and I had picked up something like in the production. I was like, "Oh, did you hear I don't know." And she was like, "You have like an ear for music. Like you always pick out things that I don't even hear." And so like I don't know, like I guess growing up with my dad's music and then kind of finding my love for my own genres and stuff like that. And like I always fell in love with like the production of music, but I never, kind of like forced myself to learn how. I was always looking for the shortcuts on trying to create music. And I don't know, I think I use it kind of as an excuse. There's really no other way to put it. But like when I had my son as a teenager, I was just like, oh, well, now I got to focus on this road, to better or to mature. Like it took me several years to really grow up because I was already a dad and I was still like growing up and learning myself. And so I feel a lot of the things I wanted to do I just use that as an excuse, like, well, teenage dad, so didn't couldn't do it. Like I took acting classes, but then 9/11, well, not 9/11, but enlisted into the army. But then yes, 9/11 and all these other things happened, so I quit the acting classes. And that was after high school. Um, yeah, the music never really quite pursued the production, but I was always asking people, oh, how did you do that? And so I dabble. I
Yeah,
dabble,
well,
a little bit when I can. But yeah, I've even asked the kids, any of you guys interested in playing drums? Like just trying to see if anyone is, and maybe we can get like a
An
small set. And
excuse, yeah.
Dad,
I'll get you
yeah,
a drum set and then you play it more than they do.
that's it. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
He's
But
just
I was
they
just
walk down the hall. He's
watching.
quick. Just drum set, drum set. What was that, Dad? Nothing, nothing.
Yeah, but yeah, I was watching Vice Versa with one of the kids recently. You guys familiar with Vice Versa with Judge
Hmm.
Reinhold, Fred Savage?
Oh
So
yeah,
it's a
that's
body
old.
switch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think 88 or 86, something like that. But yeah, it's a body switch. And Fred Savage, he plays in like I don't know if it's a school band, but he's a drummer. And so later on in the movie, now that he's Judge Reinhold, basically like this is before Big, and it's basically the same thing. Judge Reinhold, so he's the dad. He works in a shopping center or of something sorts, and he walks by the music section, and then there's this customer playing on the guitar, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll play the drums," and and the guy's like, "All right, why don't you get on?" And so yeah, he gets on the drums, and it's just Judge Reinhold with this mouth open and just playing the drums. And I'm just like, that looks so cool, even though you're supposed to look like a geek, It just yeah, I've always been fascinated with that stuff, and I don't know. Um, yeah, I always say like dad, my duty as a dad comes first, and I don't know, I have little time for anything else. Like I just when I have the time, I want to watch my movies and stuff, and just kind
Mhm.
of forget about everything else happening in the world. I'm sure
Yeah.
music could probably fill. I don't think it's a void, but I think music, playing drums or whatever, could also do that for me. But
Yeah, I always
it's just
say music saved my life because I could have been a very troublesome kid and I wasn't because I was always doing music stuff. So it
yeah,
And and Justin has this really cool ability to hear a song but to isolate the drums. That's all he hears. And then he can
Mm,
replicate it because there's songs that I'll say, "Oh, play this." And like I had him, I asked him learn the Foo Fighters
For long.
Everlong. I'm like, it's such a
mm,
pretty song. What I didn't hear is the drums isolated. The drums are super fast on that song. And the
mm.
first time he played that, he was like, whoa. And then I heard just the drums. I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that was such a complicated song because I hear it on the radio and it's pretty and,
Yeah.
and yeah, so
Yeah.
he has the ability to block everything out but the drums.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
I can hear the
awesome.
melodies, but I can really focus on what the drums are doing.
I think I guess I don't know if I get judged for this, but the extent of my drum playing is Rock Band um
That's cool.
on the
Yeah.
Wii. Yeah,
That's
that's
so
it. But but
the
how
drums are
how
probably the closest to any instrument
okay.
though. Because the guitar you're just hitting buttons. But the
Right,
drums you're
right,
actually
right.
playing the actual drums. It's like an electronic set. But no, I that's really cool. I would tell people learn that way.
Yeah.
Because it's the closest because you're still hitting the certain drums and stuff when you're doing it. And it gets you just like to keep the rhythm and the timing because I know that's a big part of it too. I was no good at that because I would just get people mad because I know what's going on. They're like here, let's test. And I'd play it perfectly. Well, like this sucks. I'm like, I do this for real. Like this is easy. So
Right, right.
I'm sure guitarists feel the same way. They're just when you're tapping buttons as opposed to playing the actual notes and strings, like oh, that's easy. As soon as I
Right, right.
learn what buttons are what, it's game over because I know where we're going with it. So same thing
Yeah,
with
yeah.
me. So,
I
but
don't even remember like my favorite song to play on the drums on Rock Band because it's been so long. But I know that on Guitar Hero I used to play Metallica's is it the one or one? Just
one,
one? One, yeah. So like that was a fun one because it's long and you have ranges. So that was always a fun one to play. But yeah, I feel for Rock Band on the drums, it was probably I don't know, some Weezer or I'm sure I threw in some of the like like Santana. I don't know, stuff that I'm familiar with like from my dad's music. But yeah, I used to play that and had fun doing it. But I always did wonder, like how close it is. But yeah, I guess you're right. That's probably the closest to an actual instrument. Um, because I think they even did like DJ Hero, and I'm just like, this can't be like anything like a real DJ, So yeah, I mean, they made it interactive at least and made people, kind of more interested in music if they hadn't played it before. It was pretty fun.
yeah, no, anything that gets people into music and playing instruments, I'm all for. So,
Yeah.
because I know a lot of people that started playing that and then they would get real guitars and start learning, music and stuff like that, and that's great. I mean,
What
I
what
want to
what
keep
about
music
these
around.
what about these like Bluetooth or like wireless stick that you can just like connect to like headphones and just air drum? Like are you
I
know
didn't
anything
even know
about
about.
these?
No.
Yeah, they may not even be like it just might be more for, like may not necessarily a toy, but just for something fun for like the kids. But I think they're on Amazon. I'd have to I don't want to waste more time, but yeah, I still look at things here and there, not necessarily like a real drum set because I know that's a hard no probably. But I'm just like if I can get sticks and like practice like the rhythm and getting that motion stuff down, and maybe one day if I'm in front of a real drum set, see if I can actually do anything. But yeah, I've always just kind of kept an eye out on like new technology to see like what can I get away with if not a real drum set,
You
kind of
could
thing.
always get a just a set of sticks and a practice pad.
Or they make
Okay,
like
yeah.
practice pad drum sets to where it's like 4 or 5 pads, and you can actually have the foot pedal and all that too.
Hmm.
Those are always fun, and they make little to no noise, and it gives you the same feeling
Right, right.
without like Luckily, she's really cool about me playing and enjoys it, but drums aren't exactly a quiet instrument,
No,
so
they're not.
Yeah. I'm trying to I wish I can I kind of dig into like what was some of the early inspirations why I just decided drums. Like I don't have like my earliest memory. Just all of that stuff. Like it all comes back to, like a couple of my favorite rock bands to listen to is like CCR and Scorpions. Like those two like I think may have like the biggest um discography that I like to listen to, without having to skip a whole ton. Whereas other bands, it was like very specific songs, but like those two, I can probably just put on, one album, just let it play kind of thing.
Were you a hyper kid?
Hmm. I don't know if I was hyper active in terms of like always doing, I don't know, like define hyper for you, like the difference between
Just
hyper and
you're
active.
always fidgeting, like you're always like tapping on stuff and all that, or just you always need to be doing something. Because
I
that I've
might
always been
without
told that's
knowing
a
it.
yeah, that's a big reason why kids generally gravitate towards drums because they just look like it's a very involved thing and you can get a lot of energy out of it as opposed to other instruments. Because like one time we strapped
Pedometer.
pedometers on my wrists and my ankles, and it
Yeah.
said I ran 16 miles in like 2 hours.
And you strapped it to what now? To your
My ankles and my wrists,
And then played for
and then
like an
played for like an hour and a half or 2 hours or so. And it
Oh
said I went
wow.
like almost 16 miles in that time.
That's
Yeah,
interesting. I've never heard of anyone doing that, but um
it was fun. I was like,
I
I'm just curious
yeah.
because I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
constantly going and going and going playing. So yeah,
Hey, I suppose if I'm not like sitting there like watching something, am I still doing stuff? I mean, I can kind of like picture myself always kind of drumming and tapping with my fingers on
there you go.
things that, along with music.
Yeah.
Um I mean, like, and I don't know if I ever shared with you. I mean, my dad was a musician. Like, introducing me to his music. Aside, my dad played guitar. I have several pictures on my phone of him as a young man with an electric guitar, acoustic guitars. After his passing, I think he had three. I think he had three acoustic guitars, and I inherited one of them, and I keep it at my sister's house. See if I can find a picture for you. But so I think knowing that my dad was always, and for some reason he never even tried to teach me guitar.
Huh.
Like I think he always just kind of left me to whatever he wants to do. Like I'm never gonna pressure him, and
Hmm.
so that's kind of how he was. Like growing up, even like my family having a military background, it was something that he had brought up, but never like pressured me. I want you to join the military. He always just left it on the table, and that was something I decided on my own. So I guess like he didn't want to, like push like his music onto me. Like if I wanted to play an instrument, I'm gonna ask.
Hmm.
So hindsight, I wish that he had pushed the guitar on me because like, Dad, I own your guitar now. Like it'd be nice if I knew how to fucking play it. But I think the one that I have, I I don't want to say it and it not be it, but I feel it's a Gibson. Let's see here. It is a Gibson, and see if you guys can see this picture
Oh,
here.
nice.
Very pretty.
So I don't know anything about this.
Sunburst. Yeah, cool. That's really
Yeah.
nice.
So yeah, I sent this to my buddy who is actually in the band, and here's my dad. I think he
Oh,
was a
cool.
teenager here. Yeah, and can't really see, but it is an electric guitar.
Mhm.
But anyway, yeah. So that was him in France playing music, and so I think that's where I got my love of music was through him.
Nice. Very cool. It's now, I mean, I think music's the most important thing because music can is one of the things that can take you to a certain time and place when you hear it.
100%. I've always said music is a time machine.
It is. Yep.
Like it will literally transport you to like that moment you either fell in love with that song or just some sort of like yeah huge memory. I have like several playlists. I've always wanted to start some sort of um like a music Instagram account. because I follow this one. It's called like Everyday Throwback or something. And so like every single day is it's a song, pre probably 2000, I would imagine. And it sounds like a lot of work. I wouldn't want to be the only one running it. And it's kind of difficult coming up with like you got to have it's got to be kind of niche. Like you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to do all music.
Hmm.
Yeah, I suppose you could, but that sounds like a lot of work too. I don't know, but I don't know where I was going with this. But oh yeah, the idea of like music transporting. So when I see like certain songs or music videos like on my Discovery or whatever, I'm just like, it'll take me, back a little bit. Some memory, um, just to my adolescence. So yeah, huge fan of music.
Yeah,
I
same.
wish I wish I can I mean I know they had some Bon Jovi in Rockstar. That was kind of cool to hear. I did
Lick It Up.
wonder,
Lick It Up was fun in that part. Def Leppard. Yeah.
yeah,
The
yeah,
Nugent, the Ted
really
Nugent
you're
part was
right.
fun when they're doing like, because Ted Nugent's very like anti. He's never done drugs and stuff like that, or he doesn't drink or anything. And I love
Uh-huh.
that his song was in the heaviest drug scene in the movie, which because I'm pretty sure he owns his music, so he had to have given the okay for that, and for him to go, yeah, I don't care. That's hilarious. See who gets it.
What
The
scene was that?
Stranglehold. It was in when they're in the
At the
after the first show
at the Roxy
is at the Roxy,
when
and they're all dancing with everyone, and
and with Tanya and they take off with Tanya.
Okay.
that's
Okay.
there's
So I
someone they like Mark Wahlberg. They just put something in his mouth, and he just accepts it, and
right.
it's when he does the shot out of the cleavage and all that
Yeah.
Yeah,
without
yeah.
using his hands. Yeah,
I really like that sequence. I thought it was like ecstasy,
probably.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it could have been LSD. Yeah, just a drug. I liked that part a lot. Um, and I did wonder what song that was. So I'm not familiar with that
yeah. Oh,
song
okay.
because
Stranglehold by Ted Nugent. I love that song. Yeah.
I thought the song worked perfectly with
Hmm.
that scene. And this is one of those moments where the song took me out because I was like, what is this song?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Um, one of my favorite sequences, I I think it's his first performance. It's when he's being raised up on that platform,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's kind of basically a oneer. I mean, maybe not a oneer. It's just like a long shot. I mean, I guess that's
Mhm.
still what a oneer is.
Yeah.
But I think covering Cobra Kai, like I think of oneer as something else. Like
Yeah.
following from behind somebody, that kind of deal. But yeah, we're just focusing on Wahlberg, and I think he's facing the camera.
Yes,
Or
yeah,
is
and
he
he's
facing?
got the
Okay,
mic in his hand and he's doing this with it, like he's getting ready to come out and getting the rhythm and yeah.
yeah. And I love that because like it kind of puts you in his headspace for a bit. It doesn't show you anybody else. It doesn't cut away from anything else. It's just him for those few seconds. And at least a couple times, I think he, just throws out the devil horns. And I
Yeah,
just like that because to me, now that I'm in his headspace with this shot, it feels like, oh, he's psyching himself up, like
yeah,
he's ready, and just that little bit, you don't really get that a ton in movies. It's very much like, oh, this person's got the jitters and they're nervous. Oh, they're gonna take a dump or they're gonna vomit before a performance. But this guy, he's ready. He's ready. Let's go. And that was unique to me, and I thought that was really really cool and a shot that really stood out.
yeah, and that was right after the manager told him there's buckets to puke in on either side of the stage, and then okay, go up, like, wait,
Yeah, yeah,
what?
right, right.
So you're watching
That
him
was,
going, he's like, oh God, okay, don't puke, don't puke, don't puke, and then he's going up, and you see him getting his confidence, okay, I know this song, I got this, and you're just kind of watching that whole thing. That's a really cool scene to pick out for sure, because you're watching him going through all the stages of like what he's wanted his whole life, and also that fear of don't screw this up, all in one
right.
shot. So yeah, that's really cool to see. And then he falls down the stairs.
Yeah,
But
and the
but
stage
in the
manager,
most
that's
metal way.
you're right. Yeah, I I don't know, maybe because I've seen that happen in real life. I gue- I guess I was a little surprised that everyone's like, well, they don't cut to anybody reacting. That's the thing. like they're just like, okay, whatever, he fell.
Yeah.
Like I
Right.
feel that there
Maybe
would
it's
have
part of
been
the show.
kind of
Yeah.
like we, but I don't know. I guess again, like since I've seen it happen in real life, I just would have been like, this is a new guy. Like, hold on, like what's going on? Like, there would have been, some sort of like big reaction. Maybe even cut to the guys that are more like the Bobby Beers, flag. Like maybe cut to them. Just like ha ha ha. Like flipping him off
Yeah.
or something. But
Yeah.
so that part I thought was a little interesting because I was just like, that's a huge deal that the man fell like like
Yeah.
a
Well,
flight of stairs and he's
they
bleeding.
slowed it down too. They like put it in more slow motion, and you're like hearing his ears ringing, and
Hmm.
getting back to what's going on. And then yeah, I remember the guitarist comes over and just picks him up real quick, and then yeah, then that's when he's like, I got this. Comes back out with the water hose and starts spraying all the banners about
That was
Bobby
really
Beers and
cool.
all that. That was really cool. Yeah, and then knowing later on, finding out that that was all like a real concert, so it's like, oh. Like these people were probably just told to bring this in with them and had no idea it was getting sprayed with water.
Maybe that's what it is too. Like it's like hey, we're wait, were you saying that they were maybe told it was a real concert? Or I mean, because Mark Wahlberg's already like a known
Yeah,
actor at
well,
this point, so they probably knew,
yeah,
right?
they were from what I researched many, many years ago, they were told it's like a real concert and just they could get in for free and they're doing a concert for they're I don't remember who they were saying it was rehearsal for a concert or like a real concert or whatever, but like people were under the impression of like cheering and doing stuff like that. It was like a real
Yeah,
crowd. So I can just imagine like someone outside handing them that banner. They're like, "Who the hell's Bobby Beers?" And just hold this up at
yeah.
certain points and stuff and whatever. So
Because I also wonder like the direction for like when Mark Wahlberg falls, because I think I read that he did that a few times, right? Like
yeah,
I don't think it was just one shot. And so
yeah,
like I wonder if they're just being instructed, hey, like this is gonna happen, don't react, right?
yeah,
Because I think that would kind of take away from like the whole him, the dizziness, seeing his POV a little bit.
hmm
Um I remember there was this throwback concert I went to, and I think it was Tag Team who did Boom There It Is, right? And you don't know that one from the 90s? Whoop, there it is. And I think they even did like the Addams Family version. 95, I feel. But one of the artists, I think it's a two-man group. One of the guys fell off, like he got too close to the stage
Oh,
or to the
jeez.
edge and fell off, and it was almost like a cartwheel off, like he fell sideways, so it was almost like a cartwheel off of the stage, and there was like a really big crowd reaction, kind of like, oh shit, what do we do? And then like he popped back up, and then he made like several attempts to jump back on stage and couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And so he just continued on like in front of the stage, and then at some point like ran to the side to get back on. And so like it made me think of that for a little bit. But yeah,
I've seen a lot of that. I've seen people fall front of the stage. I've seen people fall into the drum set because they started walking backwards and
yeah,
forgot where they were. Luckily, that never
that
happened
is
to
wild.
me. But yeah, it's crazy what nerves will do to you, make you forget what you're
Yeah,
doing. And but I mean, yeah, I love that scene. The whole sequence is cool because you see him getting his confidence, gets up there, he's singing the song, falls, trips on the stairs, and then gets to the side stage, and you're not sure what he's gonna say, wipes off the blood, goes back out and has one hell of a show. And yeah, it's really cool to see. Did you, other than that, did you, one of my favorite scenes was the Batmobile race with the
Yeah.
Ferrari.
oh my God. I I did not remember that at all, and it was the funniest thing, and
Yeah.
how they kept on bringing that back too.
You just
I
got
mean,
yourself a Ferrari, dude.
yeah, I mean, I would have bought a DeLorean. I totally get it. So like it just, I
Yeah.
think it also shows. um let's see, it's 85. Do we have an idea how old Chris is?
Probably,
Prob
Under 25.
yeah, I'd say between like 19 and 23 probably would be my
so
guess. So,
he's still a kid. Batman's
Yeah.
still his thing. So
yeah.
like that's right in line there. He was,
Mhm.
born in the early 60s.
And it shows the
Um,
whole excess thing of buying something you don't really need. And then you're
right.
racing for pink slips, so you could lose it. You just bought it and you could lose it right at the same time. Yeah,
Yeah.
just the whole I don't care, I'm a rock star and money's just money
Right.
kind of a thing. So
I love that he wore the
I'm glad
mask.
that say again. Oh yeah,
I love that he wore the mask.
right. And
oh
didn't
Robin.
Yeah.
wasn't right, right. I was gonna say like
Yeah.
there was it wasn't just the Batman one either. I am I do like how that he didn't necessarily go down like a road of like destruction, like because I remember the part where he does pull out that other the other singer out of the crowd, and it is that like just take my spot kind of. So I remember that, but I didn't remember how it ended, in that he basically becomes Kurt Cobain, in
Yeah,
Seattle.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
that look going.
Which kind
Uh,
of shows how long he was with the band for, because it doesn't seem like that long. Be like, well, if we're doing the math here, is 80, he's with them for 6 years, maybe, and you
at
don't
least
realize it.
yeah,
Yeah, because 91
right.
was 1991 was when, Nirvana kind of came out.
I
So
I like when Jennifer Aniston said she was leaving and she was going to start a coffee shop with her friend. He's like, "That's stupid. That's a dumb idea."
Is that supposed to be like a nod to like Central Perks or
Starbucks,
something, or
Oh,
yeah?
or no,
Because
just
of
Starbucks,
Seattle.
the start of
Seattle.
the whole
Yeah,
coffee shop thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay, right, right, because the boom. Okay, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, I also misremembered because like early on, she had talked about that song that he wrote for her that she loved so
Hmm.
much, and
Mhm.
he didn't care about it. I thought that that he was going to get a chance to write an original song and play that song and it'd be a huge hit, but he cites like somebody else as an inspiration, because like that's something that's been done. Like so I was that's what I loved about this movie, because I didn't remember the direction it was going,
Hmm.
and it actually ended up being like this is kind of a best case scenario for a fanboy to live out his dreams. And it's not what he expected, and it didn't turn out the way he wanted, and it still was okay at the end, you know. But yeah, I thought the end was pretty good. Now since it was kind of like based on like the situation with Judas Priest, what about everything else? Were they just kind of taking elements from like other bands in rock history, or was this kind of more centralized on that story with Judas Priest?
It originally started like that, and then it kind of morphed into what it was, where it was just kind of more focused
Like a
on what they were doing.
fictional musical
Yeah,
biopic.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think it originally originally started as the title was Metal God, which is
Yes, I saw that.
Rob Halford's like stage name, or he's known as
Oh,
the Metal
okay.
God. And then I think after the like, and I'm wondering if also like what really happened with the breakup came out, and they're like, oh, so neither one left, neither one got kicked out, like we talked about, at the beginning of this.
Yeah.
They were probably like, oh, let's maybe do something different, same concept but a little bit different. Um, and what's crazy too is like Journey found their lead singer this way. Like so
YouTube,
much,
right? Was on
yeah.
YouTube. Like
They
that's
saw a video of this guy singing, Journey
Looks
songs.
like Steve Perry. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's funny too that like this movie kind of inspired Journey to get a new singer the way they did. And also Foreigner, which is funny, which Jeff Pilson was in this movie. He's in Foreigner, and he helped get the singer that they found from a tribute band for Foreigner.
oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, okay,
so it's
wow.
that was kind of funny too when that happens. Like, oh, interesting. That's very cool. Jeff Pilson's
It's
really close to that situation being
Yeah.
in the Rockstar movie. So,
and that's not a bad way to do it. I mean, it's
no,
you don't have
it's
to travel. It's people
yeah,
are basically kind of auditioning themselves, They're
yeah.
putting themselves out there. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, you do hear like I mean, wasn't Justin Bieber found on YouTube by Ellen or something, or am I
Could be.
making that up?
Yeah. I don't doubt that a lot of people are found, especially the early days of YouTube where you could find things a little easier because it wasn't so much on there.
Yeah.
Right,
And people
right.
were still doing it real. There wasn't the effects. You can make yourself sound really good nowadays very, very quickly on YouTube. Whereas back in these days, you had to still be talented to do it. You couldn't just, put something over your voice or do it in post and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of bands and singers and musicians are found this way. So it's just really cool
I
that even though the movie didn't do great how it was, like I said, it's played in sporting events all the time. I listen to. Um, it's referenced a lot. I think last year they did something where um, the guy that did the singing for Mark Wahlberg, they did something I think in Wisconsin, and Eddie Trunk was there. Milijenko
Okay.
um, was there, and a couple other people from the movie were there that doing a whole Q&A. They watched the movie and did a Q&A and stuff, and it's like so it's 25 years later, it's still like has a really good popularity to it. So I'd be curious what it's like after it came out on DVD and Blu-ray.
Right. What do you guys think about the poster?
I love it. Is it the one that's the same as the cover here?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
had to pull it up because um again, like I remember I was working at Blockbuster. I remember renting this. I don't remember disliking the movie, so I figured I at least thought it was fine. Watching this time around, I'm like, oh, this is great. Like this is a movie I would revisit probably just as much as like A Star is Born. Like I
Mhm.
like it that much. I was, rewatching this and I'm just like, I mean, there was no reason that I had mentioned that I don't not a ton not often do I go back and rewatch a lot of movies unless like I just love that movie.
Mhm.
And this is one where I'm like I'm watching it I go this has everything I love about like a music biopic which I eat up. Rocket
Yeah.
Man, La Bamba is my favorite music
Okay.
biopic
Yeah.
of all time. I could sit here we can do a
Yeah.
top 10.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know what people say about Bohemian Rhapsody. I honestly didn't know too much about Queen prior
See,
to that movie.
I did, and that's what was disappointing to me was I did
Right.
know like a lot of the history. I was like, "Ooh, that's not right. That's not right." So,
I heard it was super sanitized and
yeah.
but for what it's worth, that movie did inspire me to seek out more Queen songs. I was
Sure.
very
Yeah.
familiar with Queen and a lot of their songs, but in that film, I was like, "Oh, what is that song? Oh, what is that song?" And then for like months, I was just listening to the movie soundtrack after the movie came out. And then a buddy of mine, he was like, "Hey, did you ever watch A Star is Born? We should review that." I go, "No, like that's something I do want to watch." And he's like, "Dude, I feel like that's a movie. Like, how did you miss that? That's sounds like a Peter movie." And I'm just like, kids, right? Like we're talking about 2008,
Yeah.
I no, 2018, 2018. And so not only kids, you're also talking about like the year Cobra Kai came out. Come on, like that's when I was less busy or less available. So I watched A Star is Born. I'm like, oh my God, I love this more than Bohemian Rhapsody. And so I'm a sucker for these movies. But
Mhm.
so I'm sitting here looking at the poster, and I do sometimes judge a movie by its poster. In terms of like how much do I want to watch this, right? So I do wonder, hindsight, if like the poster was not sexy enough for me to go, you know what? It's been a while. Let me watch Rockstar again. Because I like Mark Wahlberg. I mean, a lot of people have had problematic things, in their life. I know Mark Wahlberg has also been called like racist against Asians and stuff like this. But I thought he was great in this movie. I thought it had a great soundtrack. Jennifer Aniston, I could have used a little bit more of her, but I do love their dynamic. I love Timothy Olyphant, which maybe could have gotten a little bit more, just a little bit more. He was a standout for me as well.
Mhm.
And just the level of I don't know, but level, I don't think that's where I was going with, but how they got all these people involved into the film, and and again, this director who did something like a Bill and Ted movie, and then does this amazing, music biopic. Uh, yeah, everything was just firing on all cylinders. I'm a much more forgiving type of rater when it comes to like movie ratings. Like I'm looking at this 6.3 on IMDb. I don't know if that's correct, but it probably is. Like I feel that should be higher, at
Yeah.
least like a 6.8, you know.
Well, so being
I
a musician for myself, and oh, I forgot to mention too, the drummer for Slaughter was in this movie. He was in the tribute band, Mark Wahlberg's tribute band, Blast Elias. He's the one
Okay.
that says you got to write your own tunes, man. And when they're
Right. Right. Yeah.
rehearsing,
Yeah.
he's a real musician. He was in the band Slaughter. He actually did Blue Man Group for a while, and
Okay.
other stuff as well. But I want to mention him too because he's a big inspiration to me. Um, I liked it because it's the musicians that were in the movie, other than the singer or the singers, they did all the music for the album for the Steel Dragon stuff. That was all them playing
Yeah.
the tracks in the studio too, with the real singers from that did Mark Wahlberg's and Bobby Beer's scenes.
Yeah.
They all did the music, and then they really played it live in the movie, which is really cool too.
Right.
And to me, I can notice if it's right or wrong when they do this stuff. Like Whiplash, I could tell it wasn't Miles Teller doing 80% of
Sure.
the music. Most
Love
people
that movie
wouldn't be
too.
able. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Have you ever seen that thing you do?
Oh yeah. I reviewed
Okay.
it.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay. I think I remember seeing that. Yeah, that's another good music movie as well. That'd be like
I,
top five probably for me for sure. But
yeah. And I think it was Tom Hanks' directorial
no thanks.
debut. I
Yeah.
don't remember my guest on that one, but I remember
I
doing
think I
it.
have it saved. I just
I
haven't gotten through all of them yet, but I have it saved
sure
on my
I
playlist. Yeah.
I have a lot. Yeah, I do love that movie, and I'm forgetting the actor's name, but the one that plays the lead, the singer, the lead singer.
Jonathan
Um,
Sitch. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
yeah, yeah. When we did the review, I don't think it was right away, but he liked that my post of our review.
Oh,
Oh, very
And
cool.
cool.
so, yeah, I saw that, and I was just like, should I reach out for an interview? Like that could probably happen, but I just remember that happening and thinking like, holy shit, hey, it's the guy from That Thing You Do. So that was
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah,
I
so
think one of my
he really played the drums. The drummer did. He was really playing throughout the whole movie too, which I really enjoyed.
yeah,
But yeah,
it's always nice when you
when
get
they're
the
really
real people to
playing.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, where they can still act and play. So to me, for Rockstar, rating it for what it was, I'd probably give it an 8 for myself, just because
Hmm.
I'm a musician. All the musicians were really playing their instruments. The musicians that were in the movie were on in the studio that
Yeah.
recorded these songs. So there's other than the two singers, there's not much that they're hiding from it.
Yeah.
So
So it just looks authentic. Yeah.
it,
No,
it just
I would
looks
I would
real. Yeah.
right. I mean, as a non-musician, I would give it an 8. Again,
Mhm.
I'm looking at the IMDb, which is like everybody rating it, right? And I'm just like 6.3. That's so low. I
Yeah.
think it should be at least a 6.8 for everybody. But I agree with you. Like a personal rating, I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, a easy 8 out of 10. The
Even the
we've
even the
mentioned.
s- I would say even the slow scenes, like where she's piercing his nipples, it's just
Oh
so
yeah,
great in the movie because he's got to do it because Bobby Beers did it. It's like even the
yeah,
parts you would think are fillers are still going to the story that they're telling. It's not like not unnecessary. Just even the
right,
little
right.
parts were because I don't like. There's a lot of movies where there's stuff. It's like that didn't have to be in that scene didn't have to be in this movie. I don't. There's none of that in this movie. It's all telling
I,
like the beginning, middle, and end and all that. So
everything is intentional. Like you mentioned the nipple piercing, and you know, give me your thoughts if there's something that I'm not privy to, but when Trish shows up with a pierced eyebrow,
yeah,
right? Like
you got to tell us you're doing that. Yeah.
right. Yeah, to me, and maybe you have a different story, but to me that made me think like, okay, now he's living it, so he's gonna be like the Bobby Bear, so he's gonna
Mhm.
try to start a new trend. But the
Yeah.
band's like, no, what are you doing? Like you didn't even run it through us. Is
So
that what you
so
got from that too, or is that
yeah,
something
well,
different?
how I would take that is they're like, well, Bobby Beers pierced both of his nipples and we didn't like that. So right away, we're
Oh,
gonna nip what you're doing in the bud now because we didn't like when he did that and he left us.
okay,
So that's how I took it. But I think he's doing it like, oh, if there's a tribute band out there, there now a bunch of lead singers are gonna get their eyebrows pierced because I have it
right,
done. He
okay,
wanted to see what he would do there. But I think that was also the beginning of the end for him with that, and then him
Yeah,
bringing all that music in, and they didn't care for it. He's like,
Because he wasn't as significant in the band as he thought he
yeah,
was.
yeah, and he's like,
right.
oh my, and then he's like, oh, my big brother was right, like, or even my old drummer was right with, you got to write your own tunes or stop being somebody else.
Hmm.
And that was, I think,
Yeah.
that was so pivotal with just that little part about the piercing, and then they get it because right after that they get into them not wanting his music that he wrote and the album cover and all
Yeah.
that. He's just like, why am I
Right,
doing
right.
this then?
They're
Yeah, he's
just
like,
tossing
I
his
thought I
stuff.
was
You're
part of
like,
the
Yeah,
band, and they're like, hmm.
yeah. So
that
that
that that,
was,
that was a sad moment. Yeah, that
yeah,
really knocked him down a peg because like yeah, he spent so much time, blessed by tears, like, this is stuff that I'm bringing to you guys. They're just like, no,
yeah,
let's just do what we were already planned on for the
yeah.
day.
And then
Yeah.
I think also he had the confidence now to go, you know what? I can write my own stuff and I'm going to do this on my own now. And I need to take a piss because we haven't brought that up yet
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
So that I love
Yeah.
the manager. I think the manager was the unsung hero in this movie, by the way.
Yes. Yes. Because you had brought him up earlier when we were talking about that sequence where he's like being raised on the platform. It's funny because when I saw him, I don't have his name up, but and he was also the one that was kind of like not necessarily the bodyguard, but he was also
It's
kind of like
Timothy Spall is his name.
okay.
He was
I
Max.
know him more from
Harry Potter.
uh yes, but there's one that we watched recently with the kids, and that's why I kept on thinking of him. Enchanted.
Okay. He was in Sweeney
Yeah.
Todd also.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that in a long time, but also one of those when I watched it, I was blown away because I wasn't familiar with the musical, and I mean I love Tim Burton, Helena Bonham Carter. Yeah, and I mean, and Johnny Depp, he himself is a rock star in his own right, and so I wasn't familiar with the music or anything, and I watched it. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Only saw it just the one time, and I feel like it might be time for like another revisit.
I love
Uh,
that movie.
I since I had seen Rocks or looked up Rockstar a few times, I keep getting like all these other searches. I don't remember my thoughts on The Rocker with Rainn Wilson. Did
That
you
was good.
guys like
Yeah, I like that
that
one.
was good?
Yeah, that was fun.
How are you familiar with this Metal Lords
Yes. Oh, that
2022?
was really good. Yeah, that
What
was
is
really
that?
good. It's like these high school kids that are forming a band, formed a band.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's
It was really good.
it's really good. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I would highly recommend that one.
2022.
Yeah, that one was a lot of
Okay. Okay, I'll watch it. Is this like a Peter Sollett?
fun.
I almost interviewed him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he directed it. Peter Sollett also did Raising Victor Vargas
Okay.
from like the early aughts, and it was an independent movie about the Lower Manhattan, and it was a movie that my guest picked, and again I watched it. I was blown away. I was like, "Oh, this is amazing! How did I miss this?" And I reached out to Peter Sollett to ask him if he would be interested in an interview about that film. He said yes, but then we weren't able to get anything down. And I think he did something else after that, and it was a way for me to possibly have him come back. Or was it? It might have been Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Maybe that's how I reached out to him. I don't know. Still got his number. But but yeah, I this yeah, what happened, Peter? How come we didn't? That'd be interesting. I wonder if I can still I'll watch this and see how I feel about it and maybe I
Yeah.
can still
Yeah, let us know.
be like, hey, several years ago I tried reaching out. Oh, that's interesting.
Very cool.
That's awesome that he's still like into like this music stuff. I don't remember much about Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, but I remember liking it a lot. It might have been also kind of my first exposure to Michael Cera because I didn't watch Arrested Development at that time.
Oh, have you seen it since
Yeah,
though?
I've seen I have I have seen it since and I've tried like binging, but I just can't get a rhythm.
Mm,
And I think I left off maybe early season two.
okay.
The
That's one
the
I gotta
last thing I
pick back up.
remember is they were building a house and Job was kind of like in charge. And then there was like a ribbon cutting,
Yeah.
and yeah, so that's the last thing I remember, and it might be the same episode, but also the younger brother, I'm forgetting his name.
Oh,
Not Oscar. It'll come to me in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
I remember
Buster.
Buster.
and Buster, yeah, he ended up in the trunk somewhere, and then he thought he was in Mexico, but actually at like the housekeeper's house. So that's roughly where I'm at. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
roughly,
Sorry,
yeah.
that's one of our favorite series
Yeah.
of all time.
Yes.
So yeah, we
I was told I don't have to watch the third season or whatever the new
it's still
season
fun,
was.
but yeah, it's the Netflix season. Yeah, it was still fun,
Okay.
but the first two are just gold. Yeah.
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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's one of those things that if I need like a good, 20 some odd minutes, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, surveillance, go back
Yeah,
to that.
for sure.
So that's where I'm at with that. But yeah, yeah, I definitely want to check out now this Metal Lords.
It's really
It's
You're
good.
really
kind of
good.
yeah. Oh man, this what other biopics fictional or like strongly loosely based on something like Rockstar here would you guys recommend, like just to throw out a few?
Well, I would still say Singing in the Rain. I think you would really enjoy it.
Okay.
It's like I said, it's 50 something years old and it still holds up. Like it is still relevant now as it was then. It's really,
What
really cool.
was that the movie that in Coming to America, Eddie Murphy is no, I don't think
Um,
that's there's
so
the
this,
scene from Coming to America where Eddie Murphy is by himself in the streets of New York, and it was after his date, and he's just like singing, but it may not be a song from the film, but I think he's kind of like do because at some point he jumps up on a light post and it's like
oh yeah,
swinging
that would
around.
be Singing in the Rain. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yep, that's Singing
But
in
I
the
don't
Rain.
know if this, do you know if the song was from it? But I feel like maybe just they're having him kind of like going through the motions of a scene from Singing in the Rain.
Probably,
But I
yeah,
don't,
because that is Singing in the Rain when he gets on the light post and all that.
right.
Singing in the Rain launched Carrie Fisher's mom's Debbie
Debbie
Debbie,
Reynolds'
Reynolds.
yeah.
career. This was like her first
Oh
big
wow.
movie. Um, it's even like Rob Zombie said, it's his favorite. That one of the scenes in it is his favorite musical scene of all time. Like it's just revered. I like we've gotten other people that aren't even into musicals to watch it. They went out and bought it that same night. Like I
Mhm.
have to own this. Like I want to watch this again. Like it is
I'm
that
those
good of a
I'm
movie.
that type of guy. Yeah, if I just love something so much, I mean, like I said, how much I enjoyed Rockstar, like I'm definitely gonna watch it again sooner than later.
Yeah.
It looks like it's on HBO Max,
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, because they do
and
the TCM stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
and runtime hour 43. Oh, easy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
something I could watch in one night. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will watch that sooner than later. And
Newsies
let
is
you
one of my
guys know.
favorite like musical
I
movies.
love news.
Yes.
Been a while since I've seen Newsies. I tried starting it for the kids, and it just might not have been like. I think there might have been a lot going on that afternoon that they just weren't in the mood to watch a movie, let alone a musical. But I remember watching that in school and having a strong opinion about it. I um I told last night. Last night we watched the first Sister Act.
Okay.
And I told my daughter that I watched it in the sixth grade, but that's when I started band. But watching Sister Act in music class inspired me to join choir in high school. So I did choir all 4 years. And so I do think I don't think Sister Act it was one of the early inspirations for sure, but I do credit La Bamba as probably being my first like music biopic that really got me into that stuff. Like that's the movie that made me like how old was I? Like 8, 9 years old. I would my aunties, they had this like really long walk-in closet. You kind of step in, you can go left or right. And so there was a lot of space in there, and I would take like, their boom box and I would record the soundtrack of La Bamba onto like a tape player or a cassette, and I would make a mock microphone as if I was like, and I would kind of do that that sequence in the film where they're playing like a new Richie Valens song. They're like, all right, come on, let's go. So like, I would just kind of do that whole thing in this closet, pretending I was like a music DJ. And so like all that stuff was like right there. And I don't know why like there wasn't the one thing that made me really um choose like playing instruments. You know what I mean? Like it's just music was always there. I decided to sing, but like how come there wasn't like this one singular thing that like really pushed me to want to try to play music, in
Another
the
one.
instrument, I mean.
Eddie and the Cruisers is a good one.
That's a good one.
I'm familiar with that, haven't
Okay.
seen it.
Okay.
Um,
Spinal Tap 1 and 2 are hilarious.
yes, the first one I haven't seen in a while, but I did watch the second one, and I thought it was fine. It could have been just one of those like late nights that I wasn't too in the mood to try to like get all the references and stuff. Like I was hoping just for some mindless fun. So I think I need to kind of give that a rewatch.
Yeah, I do
Um,
both if you can back to back. I know that's quite a task, but we're gonna do that with one and two
I
because
think
we
they're
haven't
both
watched them back to back.
short.
Yeah.
They're not super long.
Yeah.
Because the first one, the second one definitely makes references to the first one. But in my opinion, the scene with Paul McCartney takes the cake of the second
Oh
one, where
yeah.
where they're like,
Yeah.
I don't know why he's here. Why is he? And it's like, this is a Beatle, dude. This is the Beatle,
I
and
don't particularly like him being here.
he's so good.
That is,
But yeah, that
yeah, I
was
think I do need I do remember that scene, and then you know what, now you mentioned the Beatles, I still need to finish the Get Back
oh,
documentary.
that's that is a that's really good. But I understand it taking a while. It took us about a month to watch it.
Yeah.
It's like, man, each one's like 3 hours long, and
Right. Okay. Okay. That's kind of what I remember. I don't even think I finished the first episode.
yeah, it took us, I think, three different watches for each episode.
Mhm.
So it took us quite a while to watch
Right.
it just because it's a lot to process. So, but yeah,
I
that
had
one's good.
considered I had considered just going straight to episode two, but I don't want to do that. I think I'm gonna go back and start from the beginning again. Um, trying to think of some other.
I mean, Whiplash is always great. Love that one.
Yeah, that one is like a difficult watch, but a good watch.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that one was hard, but I did really enjoy that. Um, I know I had another one like on the tip of my tongue earlier, like when we were talking about the movie a little bit more. But I'm definitely moving up, Singing in the Rain to like the top of the list for like a upcoming watch.
That's one of our early
Um,
episodes was we talked about that movie actually. I think like our first 10 episodes, it was in one of those.
Yeah, we have a really good friend that the first time he watched it with us, he went and bought it that night, but now he has a 2-year-old daughter and she just absolutely loves the movie.
I see, and I'm kind of like because I mentioned Sound of Music, like I know it's big. I don't know the title of like that one's there's a song that I don't know the titles of any of those songs, but I was just going through some like really old footage, and my oldest son, he was like 10 years old, and they sang that song in music class, and I'm just like, oh, see, I don't remember, I don't have that memory, like I can just pull that memory out,
Is it
but when I saw it, I was like, oh.
the doe,
mm,
a deer?
Ray atop
Um,
a golden sun.
no,
Yeah,
it's not that one. It's
not that one.
the
Okay.
Could have been
yeah, it's the
I'm trying to, it's been forever since
uh,
I've seen that. So,
I, see,
oh
I was trying to
I just
prevent.
I
I
had
didn't
it.
want to do the humming.
Yeah.
Uh, dun, 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 dun. It's very
good night,
uh.
good night. Da, 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 da,
Either I'm
da.
not doing it justice. Where the hell is the? Okay, let's see if I can pull up a track list and maybe but okay, so let's see if I can talk and look at the same time.
Okay.
With the Sound of Music, I keep putting it off, and I'm just trying to find the right moment, trying to, I want to get the kids involved as well, so I don't want to watch it by myself. But what you guys are saying about the song, Singing in the Rain, and with your friend and stuff like that, that's what I'm hoping Sound of
Yeah.
Music would do for me when I actually watch it. I'm like, all right, okay, it lived up to the hype. I do love it as much as everyone else
Yeah.
is saying I would. And I think the kids like Mary Poppins just fine, but I'm also a huge fan of Mary Poppins. Like I can like just throw on the soundtrack and I would just feel like I'm watching the movie. And I'll do that while working too. Just throw on some Mary Poppins. I don't give a shit. Like I'll just okay, where's the track
Is it
listing?
is
There's
it
a whole
these are a few of my favorite things? Like
Yes,
yep,
yes.
okay.
These are the few of my favorite things.
Things.
So like I'm very familiar with that damn song. I can't like tell you. I don't know what it looks like in the film, but
Yeah.
I know that's everywhere, like in pop culture. Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never
my favorite
seen
thing.
it
But
either. Have you seen
yeah, oh,
it?
interesting.
Sound of Music? I've never seen it
Yeah,
either.
I've seen it.
I've never seen it.
There's a lot of stuff. There's probably more I haven't seen than I
But I
have seen.
do know the songs from school for sure.
Yeah, see, it's almost 3 hours. That's
Ugh,
another reason. So that
yeah.
would be hard for the kids to
Yeah.
finish. That might be three sittings for us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
seriously, I would definitely recommend Singing in the Rain because, like we said, like we've gotten a lot of our friends with kids, and their kids love it as much as they do, and it's good because it has action, comedy, great songs. Um,
action.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
at the very beginning, yeah, it's. I think
Okay.
it's like a
It
perfect.
covers everything.
I think it's one of the very few 100% rated movies in history, actually.
It is 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I do see
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
This isn't necessarily related, kind of. If I hadn't recommended to you guys yet the podcast, What Went Wrong? Have I recommended that to you?
That I think
It's
so. I'll write it down again, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
yeah, the both hosts are in the industry. The lead host, Chris Winterbauer, he has written, directed, some of his own films. But they will take a movie, read books on it, audiobooks, or watch documentaries, and they do a very thorough research on the specific film, and they will kind of go through the production horror story,
Mm.
and so they've done some musicals and stuff like that. I think they even did. I feel like they did A Star Is Born. But I don't know if they've done Singing in the Rain. But even if I haven't seen the movie, I'll still listen because they're only talking about the production. So not often are they spoiling huge things, and they'll give you a warning. But again, these movies are so old, like that's my fault for not watching them. So I don't mind if I get spoiled with something like that. I mean, like Jaws, I know there's a shark, right? So like I'm
Wait,
sure I
what?
can
There's
still
a
watch
shark?
it. Yeah, Titanic went down. You know, um,
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah.
I think I could still watch Jaws and still enjoy it, even if I
Oh
knew
yeah.
like some of the details.
That's our Fourth of
But
July movie. We watch that every Fourth of July. So
right,
yeah.
see, and I hear that. See, and some of my much more bigger um film podcaster friends, like I will, if a certain movie comes up, that I hadn't seen, I might like not mention it, just so I don't get shut off. Peter, another one, like I get that sometimes. He's like, you're the movie guy though. I'm like, yeah, but you guys see the movies I review? Like,
Okay. Have you
it's
watched The Godfather?
yes,
Okay.
yes. I did watch it late, but yes, my
Okay.
wife and I, that was one of the few movies that we actually like watched together because we kind of have like a difference in taste. But we watched one and two, and then three, and then I think like many people, when we watched three, we're like, but why? Why did you guys do this?
I've never seen three for that reason. So
Yeah, I'm sure three has its fans, like the Karate Kid Part Three. Like people, there's like I still don't think it's one of my favorites. Like I'm core one and two. Um, I don't know if I'm ever going to be in a mood to watch Part Three, but I think the other thing with us for Godfather is like we watched one, two, and then three like in the same week, and
mm,
so one and same era, and it's very much a good continuation. Three is so far removed,
20
and
years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and but it still felt like much more modern than that too.
Hmm.
Uh, and Andy Garcia, is he only in the third one? Like he's not
Yes.
in the
He's
No,
not
right
in the
he's
because
third
he
one.
would have been his character would have been too young, and so like again like me being a movie fan. Like I still haven't. I guess movie buff, just big fan of movies. Knowing Andy Garcia from like Hero with Dustin Hoffman and some of these other movies in a Godfather, like right after watching the two Godfathers, it felt like let's do a mob movie and hey, we got Al Pacino, but like, oh, it'd be too close to the Godfather. Like, hell with it. We'll call it Godfather 3. Like that's almost kind of what it felt like, and so that's where, like that third entry, like, yeah, it's one of those that maybe you shouldn't have done it, or maybe just not include Al Pacino, to tie it too much to the original movies. You can, make it about Andy Garcia, and it's been so long, I don't even remember the details of that film, but like, maybe make it a little less connected. I don't know. Maybe I need to give it another fair watch.
I wouldn't.
But who knows? Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never even seen it, and I love the
yeah.
Godfather movies, but yeah, I've never had, other than you saying you should watch it, I've had so many people say it's not worth it. Just let the first two be the ones you remember. Don't
Right.
spoil it with the third one. So
Yeah, and that's what we did, and because we were binging it, yeah, it was just the third movie was just so like, what the fuck is going on here, and it just seems so different and not that same DNA. So that's where that lost me. But
the big reason I'm
um,
still like Karate Kid 3
dude,
is
he's so good.
because I don't know how well the rest of Cobra Kai would have gone without Silver and Kreese's dynamic in the third movie because of how everything played out in the end. So
Right.
because then it's so much more focused on the kids at that point, and us ones that grew up with the Karate Kid series would be like, oh, it's kind of a high school movie now instead of, but Kreese and Silver and that dynamic kept it kind of where us ones that remember the originals were like, oh, okay, cool. I'm still buying into Silver being the biggest heel there is, and I can't get into the Sekai Taikai with Cobra Kai, but I'm gonna do Iron Dragons instead, and him doing that. And it just worked because it's something Silver would do. He would just buy another team to get in the Sekai Taikai. So
Yeah. It could have gone so many different ways had Thomasine Griffith not returned. I mean, do you make Mike Barnes a bigger bad guy?
yeah.
Is Sean Kanan available to take on a bigger role? Often like on my account, I still get like a somebody saying like, oh, the show sucked after season two. And I know what that means. Like you could just say that, and I know, okay, you're you're in that group who likes the kids a lot more. And so there's still those people. I'm sitting here trying to like that's never occurred to me. Like if it never got Tig back, I'm just like, okay, it would have been focused more on so I guess getting the feels of the season two to continue on, I don't think would have been the worst thing. I think we also would have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I think for us, who grew up on those films, like yes, um it I can't sit here and imagine, all that stuff that happened in seasons four through, in the first half of season six, without Silver, uh, because does Johnny's victory, is that like is that going to be as high as it was? Like they will still stick to their landing, but yeah, the journey there, does it get us, the audience, that high? If it was just the kids, we probably would have been really happy, but
Yeah.
it's Johnny's story ultimately.
Yeah.
Um, like I like the movie just fine, but
Mhm.
I mean, yes, Silver,
Oh yeah.
I love, but it was one of those. It's not even necessarily. When it comes to like certain franchises, specifically trilogies, like a Mighty Ducks. Like there's just certain sequels in a franchise where you kind of see that shift in the eras, where I've always like kind of crapped on the second Mighty Ducks, for like, oh, here's that MTV generation and everything's, or maybe more so Nickelodeon generation, you're just turning this into like something kind of wacky. Whereas I thought, the first
Which is
Mighty
funny
Ducks movie was
because that has a tie to Cobra Kai as well, Mighty Ducks too. The Iceland coach
yes,
is,
yes, yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, Carson. I had lunch with him or dinner rather.
Very
Oh,
cool.
nice.
Yeah, that's the weekend I flew in to go visit the set. So
Oh,
Yuji and
cool.
Yuji was going to meet up with me for dinner, and when he reached back out to kind of confirm it the day I arrived, he was like, "Hey, you would be all right if I brought like a couple friends." And the last time I heard that was John Hurwitz, who was going to, come on with the other creators to talk about the move from YouTube to Netflix. He's like, "You'd be okay? We brought like a couple guests," and it was Machio and Zabka, right? So when
Jeez.
Yuji said this, I'm not thinking like Machio and Zabka, right? I'm not like, he's bringing two friends. Who could it be? Who could it be? And so one of them was a personal friend. So I was a little kind of like, okay, like it's not somebody
I
from
know who
Karate Kid
this
or
is.
Cobra Kai. Yeah, but then the other one was Carson North North Karsten.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So when he showed up, I was just all like, I was like, Gunther, you brought Gunther? I was like, what? And so I was just like, so I guess we're gonna see Gunther in season 6, huh? Because like, if you guys didn't know, when I went down, I watched some filming of episode, was it 612? But
Okay.
it's they're in Barcelona. It's the
Hmm.
kicking competition sequence, with Robbie and Quan. So that's what I watch. So at that point, I Quan wasn't introduced. We didn't see Gunther again since season 5. And so like me sitting having dinner with him, I was like, well, I can't share this photo until we know that Gunther's back for sure. And then we do see him in part 1 of season 6. And so yeah, he obviously couldn't answer anything, but the fact that like he was in town, I go, okay, so I guess we're seeing Gunther and the whole idea of Sekai Tekai, yeah. And then once I got on set, I was already getting the skinny. All right, we got this new character, Quan. I'm just like, okay, so now I got to look for a guy who might be Quan, And while I was being told this, literally Quan and I think I'm forgetting one of the other guys, but it was one of the other background Cobras. They were walking by, and I was just like, "Holy shit! Look at those jackets!" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
those
yeah.
are the new
Those
guys."
are cool.
Yeah, it was the bomber jackets with the big
Yeah.
old new Korean Cobra on the
She
back.
got me
It's
a hoodie with the Korean Cobra
nice.
Kai on it. I was like, I have to have one of those. So
It
yeah.
is it is too cool, and yes,
Mhm.
the Cobra Kai store has one, but I don't think it's as cool as the jacket one.
Jackets were
And
awesome.
the jackets are awesome, and I'm just waiting for like the closest to a replica of that jacket. I
Mhm.
don't want to get one from the Cobra Kai store that's like good enough, that's affordable. I will pay a pretty penny for like the one that looks like very close.
Yeah.
Um, I've even reached out to Frank, the costume designer. I was just like, hey, can you hook me up with like any files of that design so I can print it out myself or like something, give you something. But yeah, he just left me on red. I get it though, but I was just shooting my shot. They all know I
Oh,
try that stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
You miss 100% of the
but
shots you
yeah,
don't take. So, yep.
that's exactly it. And I literally, what the hell was I just watching? Somebody made that same reference. Uh, Someone made that same reference and they credited.
Wayne Gretzky said it.
Was he the first one that said that?
Originally, yeah, he was the one that first said it
Okay,
was Wayne Gretzky. Yeah.
that's what this
Because he was
actress
asked why
said. She
he shoots all the time. He's like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And it's just become a
right.
thing of like, yeah, if you don't
Well,
ask, you're
thank you
not going
for
to get a
that.
yes. Yeah. So,
I hear it so damn much, and obviously for years, ever since Dimitri said it. And I
oh,
know
yeah,
that
that's
wasn't the
right.
first time I
Dimitri
heard
did
it
say
either.
Dimitri says a lot of
Yeah,
things.
he does. Yeah, yeah. So when Dimitri said that, like I was like, who was the first person that said it? And I couldn't think of it. But then ever since that season 4 or 5, when he said it might have been season 5, it's I think it's the same episode where Johnny ties them up with like the pillows, all the cushion and stuff, and as a dummy. I
Mhm.
think it was the same that episode. But so this video clip I just saw recently, somebody verbatim said the quote, and they even said, I don't know who the first person said it was, but this is the first person that I heard them say it. And I think it was like something like a pop star, like a maybe like a Hillary Duff or so, like someone kind of like that. That I was just like, really? That person said it a long time ago too? And so Wayne Gretzky. Okay. All right. So there it is. I thought it was a basketball player. So
Wayne Gretzky.
um
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I've even seen it like with his signature under it and stuff like that. So that's why I probably remember it. So I'm pretty sure I'd be 99% sure it was Wayne Gretzky. Just like coin.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay.
Love that term. It's perfect. Sums
Well, sorry
everything.
I keep going on so many damn tangents.
No, it's
We I
good.
think we
I
covered
mean, I knew at some point we're going to get into Cobra Kai. So
Oh,
it's,
sure. It was a
yeah,
matter of time.
yeah.
Well, it did when we got there. I mean, I'm looking at the time and like I don't need to get off now, but I'm just looking at that. I'm thinking, is there a way we could segue into like some just off the cuff like trivia, or do we want to like do just a bonus extra recording real quick just to do to keep it something separate from Rockstar? But you guys, it
Yeah,
was just a
yeah.
thought I was having.
Be on this.
Yeah, we could be on this. Yeah, and I can even see if I can edit two different things out of it. But yeah, were you thinking of doing trivia or?
It was just something that crossed my mind because we were just kind of like throwing things back. I
Uh,
don't know if like it could be Jeopardy. We can come up with like categories. Like maybe you just decide what do you want to do. Do you want to do a quote or a fun fact or name that what about that? Like name that character. Like maybe somehow we try to tee up each other with hmm. I don't know. See, it's just a thought. So I obviously would come just kind of coming up with this on the off the cuff. Because I think you guys would definitely school me on the quotes because I will admit like like during my coverage I don't often go back to the previous seasons. Like I kind of stay like within that one or two seasons. While I'm covering it, and ever since the show has ended. I've only seen a few episodes from the first season, and that's it. I really haven't watched a ton of the other seasons or episodes since it's ended. So,
yeah, I know this is
um,
like the longest I think we've ever gone without any new episodes.
Yeah.
So maybe
right,
the
right,
YouTube to Netflix is close, but I think we're getting into that point where we're past that now. And this has not been fun because every year we've like, all right, cool, we've got another
right.
Cobra Kai season coming out.
Not anymore.
Nothing. I was
It
hoping for the
isn't.
spin-off and all
Yeah,
that, but
there's no
nothing.
announcement. Right. I mean, we got the Blu-ray stuff, so there. I mean, there's some new content, but you're gonna go through that pretty quick, and there's only two commentaries.
Yeah.
Nothing to look forward to this year. Not even a
Oh,
Karate Kid
did you
movie.
see? You saw we got these, right? The new
I
tattoos.
saw on
Yeah.
on the yep. Awesome possum. Any I don't know if we want to have this on the recording, but any updates what came on from about coming down
Yeah.
to film
Um,
that?
yeah, do we want to just kind of wrap up Rockstar real quick and then we'll talk off air
Sure.
about all that? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
overall, what would you say was like your two favorite like parts of the movie and what would you rate
Okay, since I said it earlier, I'm gonna stick with the eight. I agree with you on at the least a 8 out of 10. I mean, back in the days, I would have said like, you know what, if I had no issues with the movie, it's a 10 out of 10. Like, would I go out and keep this for my collection as chosen, I might say, uh, probably not. I mean, you know what, I probably would if like if I was out and about and I saw this on Blu-ray, you know, 12, $15, I might get it because this wasn't on a streamer and where I found it, I did not have subtitles and that really frustrated me because a lot of my movie watching is at nighttime and so like I can't have it on too loud and this is, a music biopic and so like when the music came on, it was loud so I'm like, oh shit, I gotta turn it down and then I might forget about the audio. Then I'm like, oh, I can't hear what they're saying. Like I turn it up. So there was stuff that I was missing, and we're a family of like subtitles and captions. So like
it?
we watch everything. And the kids, they love reading. Not that they can read, they love reading. So we always have that on. And so I would add this to my collection. It's a crime that I didn't like buy this when the blockbusters were closing, and maybe everyone bought them all out and it wasn't available for me because I have several DVDs that I've never opened or that I have or that were like previously played but now for sale kind of DVDs. I have several of those that I have purchased and still haven't watched. So I have a whole box full of movies. This should be added to my collection. Everyone is putting on a great performance, and I did not remember Wahlberg's performance in this, and I think he was amazing. Great soundtrack. I would say definitely one of my favorite sequences is the being raised up on the platform, and I would say maybe one of the other ones is I think that performance where his family comes to watch because I think there's some good fun there and we've seen since the beginning like the support of his family, so it was nice to see them kind of along on the journey as well.
Yeah, see that they're having his back and supporting him pays off, and they get to
Yeah.
reap those benefits with him. Yeah, that's really cool. So
Yeah, they easily could have been written as parents who are like, you
find a
need
real
to get out of
job
this
and
house.
yeah,
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 and they are not that at all. They are totally fine with him still living there. His brother, gives him some crap, but doesn't seem to have a problem with him still living there as well, and is still supportive ultimately.
yeah.
So yeah.
Nice. Well, cool. Well, thank you for doing this and
Yeah.
rewatching it. We're glad you enjoyed it on the rewatch and everything. So
I wanted to text you and like, talk about like, a couple of weeks ago, but I was like, no, let's just save everything.
save it.
But
Yeah,
that's how excited I got,
yeah,
and
cool.
I felt bad that I had to keep pushing it out. So I'm
Oh, it's
glad
all
that we
good.
just were able to
It
find a
actually
time.
gave us more time to try and get a guest on, but we just didn't get any bites on
Yeah.
anything, unfortunately. So and we reached out
Oh,
to pretty much everyone, but it's all right. Eventually, we'll hit something. So cool. Thank you for
yeah.
doing this.
Oh, sure. And I was wondering too. I was like, and I didn't want to ask, and unless you brought it up, but now knowing that so many people were like, paid for like these bands, I can see, it being a little bit difficult. But yeah, just keep on trying, and
Yeah, for
I'll see
sure.
what else I can find, you know, on my end as well to help you guys out.
Well, thank you for doing this. We really appreciate it. So, right, so that was our last conversation. Veunnasack, he's awesome.
He's cool.
I love that he really got into it. Yeah, it sucks that it just didn't do as well, but I mean, you got to look at the math on it. It came out the Friday before September 11th.
Yeah.
That was tough because people were not able to go. They didn't go do stuff. Things were shut down for a week, and then, like I said, like we said in the episode, people didn't want to go into a building that
For
just the
sure.
fear of
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be stuck in a building and something, it just you should always feel that way or just mind your surroundings. But yeah, you just never know when something like that happens. It puts it in perspective. So I don't know what else came out around that same time, but I know this did. I'm glad I saw it that Friday when it first came out because I was super excited about it
I
being what
didn't
it
see it
was.
in the theaters. I saw it when it came out on video.
Saw Arizona Mills. I remember exactly where I was when I saw it. And I know you've got a whole bunch of stuff going in your head right now. So,
Who'd you see it with?
someone I don't talk to anymore, guy.
Yeah.
I don't talk to him anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's it. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So,
dude movie.
yeah, there's just someone that was interested in seeing what else was. See it. I knew what
I
the
love the
very.
movie. Now I'm thinking
Oh,
it was such a hunt for Point Break. Now we're on the hunt for Rockstar.
yeah. We've got pretty much every other movie we'd really want. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes fun one. So. Thanks, Peter. And we talked off air a little bit. We're gonna do a trivia episode sometime. That would be fun. We've never really done anything like that except for when you've asked me stuff. So,
If we can report,
oh,
if we could get like a Jeopardy
that would be,
chart.
yeah, that would be, we could do a rating, like a movie rating thing too, of like certain things for that, what that is. But the trivia one, yeah, be fun to kind of put it together. Um, whereas I'm
It would
thinking we would do like a Jeopardy thing where we would have our own for him and he would have his own for us. And it's like category. I don't know.
it
We
would
figure
be
it out.
really cool though to be able to share graphics
Yeah,
because you
I would
can
have.
do the Jeopardy screen.
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be cool.
where for
We
trivia.
just have to figure out how to program it
Yeah.
correctly. And yeah, you just click on it and then it opens up the question. And
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be fun. Figure something
And if
out.
it can be shared on the screen
Yeah, I'm
with
sure
him,
we could
that'd be
figure that
really
out.
cool.
Yeah. Peter's done this a lot longer than we have, so he'd probably know a little bit more and he can walk
Little
us through it.
bit of the tricks.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
like that he brought up Fanboys. I love that movie. So that was fun. He's like, "Do you know that?" I'm like, yeah, we know that one. That'd be a fun one too. The production on that and that getting made was like
Mhm.
Godfather. It just took forever. I remember seeing trailers for like 3 years about it. So, but anyway,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, intro and outro music is provided by Arizona Place
Art stuff is out finally. I don't
Yep.
have to say, oh, wait for it to come out. It is out.
It's out. It's
You have to,
mastered,
yeah,
really good.
so you have to go into the discography. Probably the more it's played, it'll show up in the front screen, but you have to go into it. I put this on came out, so it's with it is out. We also one of some stuff that's and that's out too. So you can listen to either one. I'm really, really proud of the Spartacus 4 remaster that I did. And happy with that because I did that.
Sure to use music. Be
I'll reach out
awesome.
for next season.
For sure. You can find us or follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Drumming Up Conversation, and on X at Drum Conversing. You can email us at drummingupconversation@gmail.com. You can listen to our audio podcasts on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Video version on YouTube. Don't forget to do all the good things like subscribe, rate, review, follow, and tell a friend or two.
Yes, tell all your friends. Have
All of your
yeah,
friends.
all of your friends. Have them just subscribe. That really helps us out a lot. So, and thanks again, Peter, for doing this. We really value his time, and we always have great conversations. We've only had him on twice, and both times it's very, very memorable episodes. Like right away, go back and revisit it. Like just fun because I like when we go all over the place. Sometimes we still stuck to what it was, and him doing what he does helps too because he's good at reeling it back in as much as we are, just because he understands how that goes. Like we can still go on tangents, but let's get back to what we're really talking about and stuff. But yeah, a lot of fun. Love talking to him. We text a lot. He's called me and we've talked and everything, and just he's helped us out a lot with what we're doing. And just a good dude. Just another great Cobra Kai friend, and more than that. But we all met through the Cobra Kai family. So for Drumming Up Conversation, I'm Justin Wood. No mercy.
Drumming up conversation.